At the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, it's the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here in Pontiac. And, Paul, last week, both these teams had to play catch-up.
Lindsey, I think both teams showed up for the 1 o'clock kickoff. Detroit and the New Orleans Saints didn't start playing football until about 2:30. I think Coach Hudspeth and Hank Stram felt that the special teams let them down and cost them their opening day victories.
The Detroit Lions weren't pleased with their punting game, so they got a new punter.
How would you like to be the punter for the Detroit Lions? Wilbur Summers is going to handle the punting today. They've had 5 punters so far in the preseason, including last week's game. Mitch Hoops has already been cut. Wilbur Summers will do the punting today, and he'll have a lot of pressure on him.
But we do have 2 veteran quarterbacks.
Well, I'll say Greg Landy ranked number 1 in the NFC after the first week's statistics, and, of course, Archie Manning, who's coming back off of surgery in the shoulder. Both of them had good performances in the first week.
And right now, let's take a look at the field. We're getting ready for the opening kickoff. And they are deploying now. The New Orleans Saints will receive. They are deployed to receive the opening kickoff. The officials, Jerry Markbright is the referee. Gordon Wells, the umpire. Ray Dodditz is the head linesman. The line judge is Bill Reynolds. The back judge is Tom Kelleher. And the field judge is Ed Merrifield. Assigned here by the National Football League. And so it's going to be Steve Mickemeyer putting the ball in the air. Jim Stewart is deep along with Rich Moody to receive it for the New Orleans Saints. And the ball is in the air. The game is underway. And it's going to go into the end zone untouched across the end line. Touchback. It'll be put in play. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. The New Orleans Saints get the football first. New Orleans has Montgomery, Schumacher, Hills, Anderson, Morrison in the interior offensive line. Burton, Herman, and Thaxton are the receivers. Manning, Muncy, and Galbraith in the backfield. That is Archie Manning coming off shoulder surgery, 6'3", 200-pounder. Last week he was 18 for 30, 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Former All-American at Ole Miss. Had an I formation, and now they shift him out to a slot left. There's a quick pitch, and it's taken by Galbraith. Tried the right side and got it up there to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Charlie West from the strong safety, a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. The defense, Sanders, Orvis, English, and Woodcock. The front 4, those veteran linebackers, Newmouth, Laszlovic, and Weaver. It's Hunter on a corner with Williams on the corner. West is at strong safety, and today Levi Johnson starting at free safety for the Detroit Lions. Ahead of Lim Barney, still out with a thigh injury. Now, an umpire's whistle, and that stops play. Probably a procedure.
We'll see if one of those offensive linemen moved.
He
If
did.
He didn't. It's going to be against Detroit.
It's against Detroit. And offsides against Detroit. Could have been Doug English. We'll pick it up from the referee, Jerry Markbright, just there.
Encroachment, number 78, defense, 2nd down.
That's Doug English, defensive right tackle.
And
this is a good situation for a quarterback, even early in the ball game. Many people call it a waist down situation where they can throw the bomb or take a chance for a long one, Lens, but early in the ball game, I think a coach usually tries to keep it on the ground, establish control.
your man Bart Starr used to throw the bomb and completed a line. Here's Chuck Muncy going for 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. So the Saints have picked it up, 1st and 10.
Oh, what a great year he had as a rookie. These two backs complement each other well. Watch Galbraith there make a fine block, and Muncy, who only needed a yard, picked up about 3 for the 1st down. Weaver makes the tackle for Detroit.
So the Saints have picked up the first down as Archie Manning calls the next play.
Archie Manning last week moved into the number 1 position in rushing all time for the Saints. Of course, that won't last too long with Galbraith and Muncy in the backfield, but right now that's a dubious distinction.
Jess Phillips has the old record, and that is Chuck Muncy carrying. And he got nothing. No gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Chuck Muncy, the great running back from California. Jim Laszlovic, the middle linebacker, made the stop. Detroit Lions have been turning out those great linebackers since heaven knows when, and they've still got 3 of them. Paul Newmouth, Jim Laszlovic, and Charlie Weaver.
Every time I think of middle linebackers with Detroit having to face Joe Schmidt, my shoulders hurt, my ribs hurt. I tell you, he could pop you.
Could do all of that. Later, the head coach of the Lions. Here it is, 2nd and 10 at the 33. Well, he gives it to the tailback, and trying to come wide right is Muncie, and Muncie is at the 35. And he is out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Paul Newmoff and Charlie West ran him out. A gain of about 6, make it 3rd and 4.
Little conversation going on between Newmoff and Muncie there. Of course, Detroit has always been famous, or infamous, whichever you'd prefer, for the linebackers. They like to talk to the opposing team. They like to try to get you a little off balance in your thinking. Muncie just gives him a little bit wave. Go on, handle your own thing, baby.
3rd and 4. 3rd down, 4 yards to go for the Saints. No score early in the ball game.
Pretty good draft for the Saints last year, right, Lindsey? They get Galbraith and Muncie, who in my estimation will play 10 years for them.
Burton's far left, and he can fly. Olympic class sprinter, and dropping back now is Manning, and he can't get rid of it. He's dropped. It's John Woodcock who's starting up there in place of Jim Mitchell today, who got there, so that brings the punting unit on as there's a loss of 7 yards on the play.
Well, that's the big problem, of course, for both these teams last year. And again, in the first opening game losses for both teams. Manning was sacked 7 times last week, and Greg Landry was sacked 5 times. So the offensive line, if there is a problem that they have to rectify, it's the pass blocking on both of these teams.
Blanchard's back to punt. Last week he punted 7 times, averaged 35.6. Announced his retirement before the season, but Hank Stram talked him into staying. Giron is back there deep now, and they're rushing 10. Only Giron is deep. Blanchard gets it off under heavy pressure, and Dick Giron is at the 28, the 30. And he's pulled down at the 31-yard line. Make it the 30. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30. Kim Jones downfield to make the tackle. A 39-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. Lions get it for the first time, 1st and 10. And Greg Landry is at the controls. He's 6'4", 205-pounder, a 10-year veteran from the University of Massachusetts.
He was sacked 6 times himself last week.
They're up there in the double wing. Now they move Dexter Bussey back, and Bussey gets the football. Tries right, cuts back. Gets a yard to the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 31. Alex Price in to make the tackle.
End zone shot. Watch the middle linebacker, Joe Fetterspiel. Now he comes up inside, tries to pursue. Pretty good blocking at the hole. 74, I think it was Derlin Moore who makes the stop.
It was at a luncheon at the Pro Bowl years ago, and they were talking about making The Violent Life of Sam Huff into a movie. And Bill George, who was a pretty good middle linebacker, got up and said, if they do, they should get Joe Schmidt to play the part. 2nd down and 9 at the 31-yard line. Greg Landry now shifts him back in to even him up. Again, it's Bussey coming left this time. Well, he got a little assistance on the tackle that busted him up to the 38-yard line. Bob Pollard, and he can aid you upfield. Gain of 7 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2.
Bussey, a durable running back. Of course, both these backs, Bussey and Horace King, they look like they're twins the way they run. They're both power runners, good blockers. Bussey picked up 858 yards rushing last year. Had a fine year.
2.5 yards to go. Of course, the Lions still miss Lawrence Gaines, who's out with a knee injury, and they figure it'll be about 3 more weeks before they get him back. 3rd down, 2.5. Even them up now. King and Bussey. King. He's got the 1st down, and yards to spare at the 44. And he got 1st and 10.
I was going to say, Lindsey, he got a good standoff block from his running mate, Dexter Bussey, on the left side. The Lions have used a double tight end situation last week on a lot of occasions. They had Sanders and Hill on the same side of that wing T situation. I think we're going to see that on 3rd and short.
Well, they get Ray Jarvis in there now and bring J.D. Hill off the field. Jarvis from Norfolk State, a 7-year veteran. He comes wide to the left side. 1st and 10 now.
Got both the tight ends lined up on the right side.
Even up the running backs, King and Bussey. Bussey plowed across there near the 48-yard line. Picked up about 3.5 on the play.
Jim Merlo on the stop. I tell you, those linebackers, if they use that double tight end situation the way the Lions are doing it now, the outside linebackers are in for a long day because they've got double team blocking at the hole. They have also got a guard pulling. So you've got some folks blocking at the point of attack for Detroit right now.
2nd down, 6.5 yards to go. They send Ray Jarvis far to the right side. Greg Landry, of course, is the quarterback. Dexter Bussey and Horace King are the running backs.
Sanders and Hill again, same side.
Looking for a screen. Unloaded the football, and it is incomplete, says referee Jerry Markbright. Jerry Markbright, the referee behind the play, says incomplete on the screen. Third, 6.5.
There's Greg Landry's 1976 stats. He started off, as I said at the top of the show, he's ranked number 1 in the NFC. Picked up 363 yards in offense. Actually, only the Baltimore Colts had more yards last week offensively. Landry was 17 out of 25 against Chicago.
Third down play coming here. Landry. Bussey incomplete. So it'll be fourth, and that'll bring the punting unit on for Detroit. Clarence Chapman covering defensive. Chapman, by the way, sort of coming home. He went to high school in Detroit, graduated from Eastern Michigan, where he is most valuable his senior year, playing a cornerback for the New Orleans Saints here in Pontiac this afternoon. Fourth down, and in to do the punting, Wilbur Summers. Now, Paul was telling you about Wilbur Summers, who was added this week to the roster of the Detroit Lions as Mitch Hoops was cut. Rich Morty has dropped back to receive the punt now, as New Orleans will rush 10.
They'll rush 10. They might try to block it. Both teams had a punt return for a touchdown against them last week.
No score. We're still in the first quarter. Summers' first punt as a Lion. Hangs it up there pretty well. Morty at the 12. Side slips one, but can't get the rest, and he stopped at the 12. It'll be first and 10 for the Saints at their own 12-yard line, a 40-yard punt. So the New Orleans Saints get the ball. They started the first time on a touchback to their 20. They start this time from their own 12-yard line.
Some people think all color TVs are pretty much the same. I'm a TV service technician, and I say bunk.
In a nationwide survey, independent TV service technicians gave their opinion of color TVs. They picked one brand, more than any other, for highest quality and for fewest repairs. One brand, Zenith, for the 6th straight year.
Zenith says the quality goes in before the name goes on. And you know what? It really does.
In Pontiac, Michigan, there is no score. We're in the first quarter with 9 minutes, 3 seconds remaining to be played in the period, and the New Orleans Saints have the ball first and 10 at their own 12 as Archie Manning breaks them up. Archie Manning still has it, and he wants to go long, and he does, and it's incomplete, trying to get it to James Saxton. Saxton is a tight end normally who played wide receiver last week. They sent him deep that time from a tight end alignment.
He was open too, Lindsey. Henry Childs had a great game in the opening day loss to the Packers, and he's out with the leg pull and did not dress for this game, and I'm sure Hank Strand would love to have Childs in there. Thaxton got open on that little flag pattern. Archie just overthrew him a little bit.
At Ole Miss, Manning was spectacular. He was named quarterback of the quarter century in the Southeastern Conference. His full name is Elisha Archie Manning III. Burton in motion and turn out, and it is incomplete. As it was intended for Don Herman, who had it on his fingertips, but he was popped by James Hunter and shaken loose.
They're trying to antagonize him a little bit. Herman, of course, 9-year veteran, he's not going to let that bother him. But Ken Sanders, defensive left end, got his big paw up and stopped that pass from getting there on rhythm.
So it's third down and 10 yards to go. 3rd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Lost last week to the Green Bay Packers, 24-20. Split the running backs. Thunder and lightning. Manning goes way long, and it is Levi Johnson moving back to try to intercept. Upfield was James Thaxton. It's going to be 4th down, and the punting unit's there. Angstrom along the sideline. There are only 2 active coaches who won more games than that fellow. One of them coaches at Miami, and his name is Shula, and the other one coaches at Dallas, Texas, Tom Landry.
Very well-respected coach, I tell you. A great friend, a great man. Of course, did some work here with CBS and did it just a super job. The most dapper coach I've ever known. He is the best dresser. His wife says that takes her all weekend to get his suits ready for the game.
Blanchard kicking to Giron.
Beauty.
Boy, he hung that one up there. It's at the 36. You're on back to the 40, the 45, and that's it. They'll start first and 10 at the 45-yard line. It was a 52-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. And so it is good field position, despite the fine kick, for the Detroit Lions. First and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta. Now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. It gave European drivers the precise control of rack and pinion steering. And road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The power that took it from 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. And front disc brakes that brought it from 50 to 0 in an average of 3.3 seconds. Fiesta has the traction and control of front-wheel drive, yet it also has excellent gasoline economy and a modest base sticker price. Fiesta. Test drive Europe's most successful new car in history at more than 5,000 authorized Ford dealers across America.
We got a little lady. It's a little embarrassed about being on TV, but she is a pretty one. There's Baltimore. Roosevelt leaks. First quarter, a 6-yard touchdown run puts the Colts in front.
First and 10 at the 45 for the Detroit Lions. Low contact made, but no snaps. So everybody gets settled down, and Greg Landry has the football. He goes long, down the sideline. It is incomplete. Trying to get it out there to J.D. Hill, the 7-year veteran from Arizona State, streaking down the sideline. Covering was Tom Myers, who is the free safety.
Tom Myers used his head then. He's a fine free safety. Had an interception last week, but he used his body there, Lindsey, to shield that reception by J.D. Hill.
Offensive line, Hertwig, Bollinger, Morris, Markovich, and Freitas. Jarvis, Hill, and another Hill are the receivers. Landry and the running backs are Bussey and King. Second and 10 for Landry and his Lions. They're at the 45-yard line.
And they're using that double tight end on the same side over there, Sanders and Hill.
Even up the running backs. That's Dexter Bussey. Cuts back inside the block. Gets to the 39-yard line. There's a penalty marker thrown. A penalty marker is thrown. Fetterspiel finally brought him down.
What a 16-yard pickup, Lindsey, and they went right at the point of attack where those two tight ends, David Hill and Charlie Sanders, they double-teamed at the hole. It's going to be against Detroit here.
And as soon as the penalty has been marked off, we'll pick up the details from Jerry Markbright. Marks off a 15-yarder, which puts the ball back to the 45-yard line, the 46-yard line. Here it is.
Holding, 86, offense, second down.
That's J.D. Hill, downfield trying to block. One of the offensive coordinators, Wally English, with the Detroit Lions.
That makes it 2nd and 9, back at the 46-yard line.
Double wing, huh?
That's it.
You use them all.
Even up to running backs again. Landry guns this one, and it's complete. Taken by Ray Jarvis, coming back. And it's going to be marked at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nothing Clarence Chapman could do here. Let's take a look. Slow motion. He's going to throw it to his left on a hook pattern. Clarence Chapman had man-to-man coverage. You see that? And Jarvis just came back for the ball beautifully for the first down.
Clarence Chapman, going to high school in Detroit, was a track star and riding across town one day with a classmate. His classmate said he was going to football practice, and why don't you come along? And did he ever? It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Pick up 14 yards, first down, Detroit.
Landry. Well, he ducks that one. He's still alive. He's going to run it. 35 hits the deck. He hits the deck and skids up there until he comes to a sudden halt against a defensive knee at the 33-yard line. Fetterspiel was there.
I tell you, when Greg Landry first came out of the University of Massachusetts the first couple years, on a scramble like that, he'd try to run over some of those defensive backs and linebackers. But I think he's learned his lesson.
Well, that has happened. When you come into the National Football League, you're apt to want to do that sort of thing if you did it in college and if you're big and strong. But it's those long days you lie in a single hospital bed that gives you time to think it over. It's 2nd and 4 at the 33.
That's 6.
This is Horace King, and he got very close to the first down and may have picked it up. 1st and 10 it is. Fettersfield again to make the tackle. That's not a bad middle linebacker.
I'll say. I think he's the most underrated middle linebacker, maybe in professional football. Fettersfield opened up last week with 15 tackles, 10 unassisted tackles. He's a six-year veteran out of Kentucky, 6'2", 230 pounds, and started all 4. In fact, he's only missed 1 game in 5 years.
The fact that he is from Louisville, Kentucky has nothing to do with Paul's opinion because he went to DeSales High and Paul's from Flagey. It's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Lions are in New Orleans territory, and this is Dexter Bussett. He got to the 26 for 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. Bob Pollard in to make the stop.
Let's take a look at Fettersfield from the middle linebacker position here. Now, he's keying the block of the center. Make one little move to the left. He gets rid of the left guard there, who was on a trap block, Russ Bollinger.
Second down and 8 yards to go. At the 26 of New Orleans, no score. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first quarter. This is Horace King again, coming to the left side to the 23-yard line. He picked up 3, and that'll make it 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Joe Fettersfield again in on the tackle, along with Greg Westbrooks, who is right outside linebacker.
First quarter score, Cincinnati 14, Seattle nothing. Second touchdown scored from 10 yards out on a run by Pete Johnson, the former Ohio State star.
Last week, Horace King, who just carried the ball, carried 18 times, and he picked up 90 yards against the Bears, an average of 5 yards per carry.
Look at your 2 tight ends there, Lindsey, about a yard off the ball.
Dropping back is Greg Landry. Well, he puts it up, and it is a touchdown, J.D. Hill. 23-yard touchdown pass from Greg Landry to J.D. Hill.
And good pass protection that time. J.D. Hill came from the left side. From the end zone shot, you'll see Landry go back. Watch your pass protection. Now he's looking around. J.D. Hill's coming from the left side of the field. And against the grain, he's wide open over there. Lions go 54 yards in 8 plays.
Conversion attempt coming now, and Steve Mickemeyer will attempt it, and Gary Danielson will hold. Danielson holding Mickemeyer, a sidewinder, formerly with the San Francisco 49ers. Danielson puts it down. Mickemeyer boots it up. Good. It is good, and so with 4 minutes, 52 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter, the Detroit Lions have taken the lead. It is the Lions 7 and the New Orleans Saints nothing.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Watch the spectacular television premiere of That's Entertainment Part 2 tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time, right here.
There's Greg Landry, and Tommy Hudspeth is standing directly to Greg's right, talking over things.
Mickemeyer is putting it up, and we've got Stewart and Monty deep. And it is bounding around as Stewart lets it go over there, and there's a penalty mark, which simply means that it went out of bounds. So they'll bring it back and kick it again. As you know, there are 45-man squads this year, and 24 hours before each game, 2 of them put on a move list and are ineligible. The New Orleans, Henry Childs and Tinker Owens are not eligible for today's game, and for the Detroit Lions, Jim Mitchell and Lawrence Gaines are the 2 men on the move list. So now a 5-yard penalty will be inflicted, putting the ball back to the 30-yard line. From whence Steve Mickemeyer will kick it off. That is Stewart, Jim Stewart from Tulsa, dropping back. He's back there with Rich Moody. the young man from Penn State. Four minutes, 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. New Orleans Saints, of course, are from the Western Division of the NFC, and the Lions are from the Central Division of the NFC. Mickemeyer puts it up in and over in. Stewart at the 6-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, turns it on, 25-30. He went into a little overdrive and sped out there to the 37-yard line.
This is Jim Stewart. Now watch Andy Bolton, number 43 for Detroit, almost get him right here. And Stewart just got outside of him, got a good block, and turned it up. It's going to be marked about the 38-yard line. Good return.
First and 10 from New Orleans 38.
That's where it's marked. First and 10 for Archie Manning and the Saints. Won only 3 of their last 33 road games. It's the first time they've played here in Pontiac. All right, wide receivers left and right. Even up the running backs. Archie Manning goes a screen right, taken by Chuck Muncie. And Muncie, if anything, lost the yard.
Ken Sanders made a fine play from his defensive left end. He was on a pass rush, Lindsey, and smelled out the screen to his side. And I think Muncie, as Ken Sanders had a hold of that left leg, he might have twisted his ankle a little bit.
The officials are in conference. There's a penalty marker on the play.
Here's Muncie. Now he's coming up. He plays, tries to lull him to sleep a little bit. Screen right. Now watch this. Ken Sanders right here. He gets a hold of that left leg, and Muncie tries to pull free and might have jerked it a little bit.
Saints were holding on the play. Hank Stram along the sideline. Saints were called for holding on the play. Muncie has gone off. You saw him limp off, and Mike Strawn has come on now. But we have a penalty to check out here. That will be a 10-yarder. Jerry Markwright.
Holding, 87, offense, second first down.
Wide receiver Don Herman.
Holding against New Orleans.
So that puts the ball back at the 28, makes it 1st and 20.
Well, those penalties are the biggest enemies of coaches, I think, in professional football. They make them, makes you turn gray in a hurry.
Spectators don't care too much about him either. Wide receivers left and right. Manning. And it's complete. Taken by Thaxton. Big Jim gets up to the 49-yard line just in advance of the sticks for a first down. Dick Giron and Levi Johnson made the stop. A 21-yard pickup. 1st and 10 now for the New Orleans Saints at their 49-yard line. Both Manning and Landry call most of their own plays. There are a variety of means by which plays are called these days from the sidelines.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think I think the quarterback should call it plays. I'm for that.
Manning is dropping back. He guns this one, but over the head of his intended receiver, Larry Burton, number 80. Burton back in action today for the Saints. He had been on the injury list. Of course, he is an Olympic class sprinter. He can fly. 3-year veteran from Purdue. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Manning is now 1 for 5, 21 yards passing.
Tell you one thing, he's coming out here putting the ball in the air.
They have come out throwing. 3.5 minutes left to play in the quarter.
Detroit hasn't blitzed too much yet.
Here's a pitch, and it's taken by Strawn. Mike Strawn, penalty marker on the play. He went out of bounds over there near the 46-yard line. Paul Newmoff and James Hunter made the stop on Strawn, who is from Iowa State, a 200-pound running back.
Well, he had a fine year when he was a rookie till he got hurt. He's had 2 100-yard games. Let's check out the penalty.
Appears to be against the New Orleans Saints.
Holding, 62, offense, second down.
John Hill, the center. Back to the 39, makes it second down and 20 yards to go. So everybody looks for Archie Manning to put it up. Herman right and Burton left.
They got 5 defensive backs in the line. 5-man rush.
Well, he stayed alive longer than most, but not forever, and was dropped on the 32-yard line.
Let's take a look at the rush for the Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions are in a 5-man rush here. Man head up to centers, guards, and tackles. And Ken Sanders coming from your left. Number 78 gets there first, Doug English. Manning somehow squeezes free, and he knows he's in trouble here. Finally, Ken Sanders gets him.
Make it 3rd and 26, back at the 33-yard line. Make it the 32-yard line, which is 3rd and 27. Second sack of Manning. Burton to the left side. James Don Herman to the right side in this alignment. Split the running backs. Manning.
There it is again.
Well, we've done it again. Ken Sanders, the very same man.
Well, I tell you, Manning having trouble. That's his 3rd sack here in the first quarter.
And that brings the punting unit on, as that's back to the 29 for a loss of 3 would be 4th and 30.
Well, that's been their problem. Last year, the Saints were sacked 51 times to rank next to last in the National Football League. The only team with more sacks was the Detroit Lions. They had 61.
Dick Giron, number 26, you saw deep, playing safety back there, running back to kicks today. One-time running back at Yale. Blanchard kicked for 52 yards in his first punt today.
Trying to block it.
Gets it off. Giron calls for a fair catch. Makes it at the 34. So the Lions start 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Blanchard that time had a 37-yard punt. Lions are leading by a score of 7-0.
Stuntman, you get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. But now comes Miller time. Time to reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
We have now 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Along the sidelines, Muncie's left ankle is being taped for the New Orleans Saints. Lions have it 1st and 10 at the 34. Handing it off to Bussey, and Dexter Bussey tries the left side, falls forward to the 37-yard line. That's 3 2nd and 7.
Bussey carrying the ball.
Jim Merlo is in to make the stop. Merlo was on Stanford's Thunder Chicken football teams that beat Ohio State and then Michigan in the Rose Bowl. 2nd and 7.
Bussey's been quite active here in the first quarter. 31 yards, 6 carries.
Dexter Bussey from the University of Texas at Arlington. He's a 210-pound running back. Had 2 touchdowns last week. Double wing. Now they even him up. Tried draw play, and it's Horace King carrying. On the draw, and he got to the 39-yard line. I beg your pardon, the 41-yard line.
King carried the ball in. The line stopped by Price.
Alex Price from Alcorn State made the stop. There's a gain of 4 yards on the play. We'll make it 3rd and 3.
The Lions using that double tight end situation. Charlie Sanders has been one of the great tight ends in the league since he came in 10 years ago from the University of Minnesota. He only needs 2 catches today to break the all-time Detroit record. 325 catches set by Gail Cogdit.
Whistle there. 1 minute, 3 seconds left on the clock remaining in the first quarter. The Lions have gained 55 yards in 11 rushes today, and that's an average of 5 yards a rush, which will carry you a long way.
They averaged 5.6 last week.
Landry swings it out right, taken by Horace King. Stumbles but keeps his balance out to the 44-yard line. Now, did he get to the sticks? It looks like he might have missed by a yard or so if it's spotted where I think it's going to be. Tom Myers made the stop.
I would tell you, he looked like as if he was going to get the first down. I don't think he lost track of where he was, how much he needed. But Tom Myers, the free safety, came up with a great defensive play and a good tackle to hold the line short of first down. They'll punt it.
They will, in fact, as the punting unit comes on. Landry goes off. Wilbur Summers back in punt formation. Tommy Hudspeth along the sideline. After he took over as head coach of the Lions last year, they won 5, lost 5. Rich Morty is deep. New Orleans will rush 10 on Wilbur Summers. That's Morty. 19 seconds left in the quarter. Nope. The whistle stops play. Whistle stops play. See, a flag doesn't, but the whistle does. 16 seconds on the clock. Delay is what it is. Delay of game. You got 30 seconds to get it underway, and if you don't, it costs you 5 yards. You just did.
An ironic thought here. Wilbur Summers, who, as we mentioned earlier, has got a lot of pressure on him. This is their 5th punter
Delay.
of the year.
Number 10, offense, 4th down.
Delay. They just called it delay. Didn't get it off in time. But Wilbur Summers just kicked it about 55 yards from the line of scrimmage. I know he wishes they would have got that snap off in time.
He'll try it again. Detroit's been penalized for 30 yards, 4 penalties. Well, that's not as good a one. Rich Morty is over, but there'll be no return, and it'll be marked along the sideline. 7 seconds in the quarter, and it's going to be marked at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, keep in mind, the CBS Sports Spectacular will be coming up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Something for everybody. There's a horse race for Paul and a motor race for me, among other things.
How about that World's Strongest Men's Competition? That should be something. If we got the first event, I understand, is a hoisting of a barrel, and it'll be filled with liquid and lead, and they'll just go to somebody can't lift anymore. Simple as that. And the Cup, of course, one of the great races. Maybe Seattle Slew will be in that. We'll find out next week who's going to run in it.
Sports back at 4:30 Saturday, and here's a pass play that is complete to Don Herman. And Herman gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Charlie West made the stop. Archie Manning pumping that one out there to Don Herman from Waynesburg State. So that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Detroit Lions 7 and the New Orleans Saints nothing.
The Ford in your future is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. The new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rabbit when both are equipped with automatic transmission. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars and fine all-around visibility. This kind of room is combined with the highest mileage rating in its class. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
At the Silverdome in Pontiac in the first quarter, Detroit had 95 yards total, 55 rushing, 40 passing. New Orleans had 31 yards, 17 passing, 14 rushing. Detroit's leading by a score of 7-0. New Orleans has the ball 1st and 10. They have it at their own 37. That is Archie Manning. Burton wide to the left side. Muncie's back in. Burton's got it. Went out of bounds just near the 50-yard line. Walt Williams made the stop.
Well, Cincinnati pouring on, still in the first quarter. Touchdown runs, Tony Davis, Pete Johnson, and a 5-yard run by quarterback Ken Anderson, 21-0.
Saints have it.
I was going to say, Lindsay, there's an important game for the Washington Redskins. They're trying to come back after that opening day loss, 0-0 first quarter.
Against the team that upset the Los Angeles Rams last week. 1st and 10 now at the 49-yard line. That's Herman in motion across. Archie Manning looks for a screen right. Gets it out there to Galbraith. But no. The Detroit Lions.
You know what? They had a safety blitz on that time. The perfect play was called, but they just didn't execute it. If they could have got by the line of scrimmage, that would have been a long run, Lindsay. Now watch from the center of your screen. You'll see here comes the safety blitz. They had the blitz on, and the ball was just thrown a little outside. Galbraith, they lost 7 yards on the play. It could have been a big gainer.
2nd and 17 as You see Paul Newmoff. He's an 11-year man out of the University of Tennessee. 2nd and 17 now.
Where is Tennessee? You know anything about that?
Knoxville. Dropping back is Manning and whips it downfield, and it is intercepted. Taken out of the hands of the receiver, and it is Levi Johnson with the football. Levi Johnson returns to his own 47. It was taken out of the hands of the receiver, James Saxton, who still is down on one knee. Saxton had it. It is an interception.
Charlie West hit Saxton just as he caught the ball. Let's watch this. Watch him. He catches the ball. Charlie West hits it right into Levi Johnson. And what an interception here.
Okay, Linda here's got to protect her family.
A woman?
Sure, a woman needs life insurance just as much as a man does. And this New York Life Defense has just the insurance plan to do it. Put the blitz on Linda's money problems. Block out her retirement worries. Come on, Linda, it's all yours now. And a girl!
I've got it. Financial security.
Where the name of the game is life, there's New York Life.
Boy, Lindsay, what a turnaround. That's Levi Johnson making his first interception of the year. And let's take another look at it. Manning goes back. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up well. Now watch Jim Thaxton. He's got a hold of the football, and it bounces right into the hands of Levi Johnson. Charlie West caused that interception. He's going to bring it back 19 yards.
So it is 1st and 10 now for the Lions at the 47-yard line, their own 47. Wide receivers left and right for Landry, and penalty markers thrown, a referee's flag, which usually indicates holding, and the stop is made by Bob Pollard. So Jerry Markbright, the referee, has something to tell us. As soon as he gets all his administration taken out, holding is the penalty against the Lions.
They're going to have a decision here. It's a 14-yard loss on the sack.
It's back there near the 33.
So they'll decline the penalty in this spot.
It has been declined. The penalty against the Detroit Lions.
Now, if you wonder why Landry did not get rid of the football, there wasn't any receivers over here on the left of your screen. There's 75, Alex Price, putting the pressure on. Almost got him by the face mask. Now Landry's in trouble. Bob Pollard in pursuit.
2nd down play coming now. 2nd and long for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry, penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
He's in trouble again.
Well, he's going to head for the safety of the sideline at the 36. Gerald Moore was near him there. There's a penalty to be checked out.
Well, you always think back of the ifs. I'm sure Hank Stram, standing on the sidelines, is thinking right now, if he would have held on to the football, we would have had a 1st down, knocking on the door inside the 20-yard line. Now, Detroit's got in pretty good field position, although they're going backwards right now.
Well, the penalty is marked off against the New Orleans Saints, a 5-yarder. Let's pick this one up.
Offside, 74, defense, 2nd down.
Gerald Moore was offside.
2nd down and 18.
Washington, a field goal by Mark Mosley at 23 yards. The Redskins in front 3-0. 2nd quarter.
2nd and about 19 at the 38-yard line. Greg Landry steps up. Oh, now. Campbell is on, and is it a fumble? And I think it is. Free ball, and who's got it? Several things involved there.
Luther Blue, who just came into the ball game. Bob Pollard's got it, number 82.
Bob Pollard came out of the sack with it, and the New Orleans Saints have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Let's watch Bob Pollard on this play. He comes up with a very important fumble recovery here. There's Pollard trying to be blocked, pushed by Rocky Freitas. And now here's Landry. He gets hit from behind by 75, Alex Price. 73, Russ Bollinger had a shot at it, Lindsey, just couldn't hold on. Looks like Merlot's got it, but Pollard comes up with it.
2nd sack credited to New Orleans. The ball is outside the 31, called it the 32-yard line. early in the second quarter, with Detroit leading 7-0. Here's a quick pitch to Muncy. He's going to look, and he's going to throw, and he isn't. He's going to run it. 25-20, 15-10, and he is gone for a touchdown.
Well, the option pass. How about that one? I'm glad to take a look at that. Muncy controlled the football. In fact, in college, I think he threw 4 times, all 4 for touchdowns. Watch Muncy. Here's the pitch around the right side. Now, the split end on that side is wide open, but he got a little bit rushed, and this is what this man can do. He can break open the football game. A great runner makes a good cut here, gets a standoff block, and goes in. 21 yards. Check that 32-yard run, crediting with. Here it is again. Good fake. It's an option pass run there. And Chuck Muncy, one of the great backs in college football 2 years ago, doing his thing.
Blanchard's holding. Zarro will attempt. Rich Zarro will attempt. He boots it up. Penalty marker. Penalty marker is dropped, so we'll check this one out. Jerry Mark Bright says the penalty is against the New Orleans Saints. And he'll tell us about this one in just a moment.
I hope he does.
Here it is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal substitution, failed to report.
That's what it was. Unsportsmanlike conduct covers a multitude of sins, but an illegal substitution. So that moves it way back to the 12-yard line. Still a conversion now. Keep this in mind. Although he's back there, it'll be a 34-yard conversion attempt by Zarro with Blanchard holding. Still a 1-point matter involved here. Left-footed sidewinder boots this one, and he converts. So it's good, and the score is tied. It is the Saints 7 and the Lions 7. So we have 13 minutes, 20 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, and the Saints have come back to tie the score. It's 7-all.
Sit tight, Pop. I'll pump myself. Let me tell you something, gang. Any gas will get you where you want to go. But it ought to be in there cleaning your carburetor, too. Now, you want to make sure you're getting the job done, use new STP gas treatment. You just pump in a can with every tank load of gas, and it goes to work cleaning like a bandit. Clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this, and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
60 Minutes takes you on a stakeout as government agents move in on the mob. Tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain Time.
Henry Stram, as always, explaining the game to the official, and at the 35-yard line, it'll be Rich Zarro kicking off. Andy Bolton is center deep. Bolton chases it back, 5 yards deep in the end zone. Goal line 5. He's out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Spins his way up to the 25-yard line, from whence the Detroit Lions will begin.
Well, the Colts, 2 touchdowns, one by Roosevelt Leaks, the other by Don McCauley, both on the run. 14-0 second quarter.
When I saw that option pass a moment ago, it reminded me of 2 fellows in my experience who did it better than anybody else I knew. One was named Frank Gifford, and the other was named Paul Horning. Wonder whatever became of those fellows.
Well, I'm still alive and kicking. I'm not kicking as well financially as my man Frank, but I'm happy.
Complaining is a better word. First and 10 at the 25. Greg Landry handing it off to Dexter Bussey. Tries the left side, and penalty marker goes into the stack as he got across the 30.
I tell you, they're pulling a lot of guards, double teaming at the hole with that wing T formation, using those 2 tight ends. Gives them a good running attack. It's going to go against the Lions holding 10 yards. Picked up 5.
Detroit has now had 5 penalties for a total of 40 yards. New Orleans has had 4 penalties for a total of 40 yards. It goes back now to the 14-yard line.
15-yard turnaround.
71, offense. First down.
Greg Hertwig who started over there at tackle. Yarbrough, of course, is out with an ankle injury. First and 20.
4 receivers in now, Lindsey. 2 tight ends, Jarvis and J.D. Hill. Horace King is out. Horace King is the remaining back.
That's Greg Landry. Well, he completed it out to Charlie Sanders, who now has tied Gail Cogdill's all-time career reception record with the Detroit Lions.
There's the middle blitz. Joe Fetterspiel is picked up by the center. Little short square out, and the roar that you're hearing in the background is a cheer for Charlie Sanders. His 325th reception in Detroit Lion uniform. He needs one more to break the record.
He and Gail Cogdill are now tied.
Just come right back and do it again.
Second down is 14 now. This is Horace King. Got to the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 11 out there at the 23.
Jim Merlo fine defensive play. He fought off the block of Sanders then.
Pollard and Merlo stopped it.
Score's tied, 7-7. We are indoors here at the Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan. The New Orleans Saints, of course, moved from their home stadium, the Superdome, for today's game in the Silver Dome.
My town, New Orleans, I tell you. Just leave me down there, I'd be happy.
Well, Landry has been left back about the 10-yard line by Alex Price.
Both are inside defensive tackles, Derlin Moore and Alex Price. 3rd sack for the Saints.
Loss of about 13 on the play, and brings the punting unit on. So now Wilbur Summers is going to have a little extra added pressure because he's going to be punting from his own end zone, and New Orleans will be sending some folks, I think.
Imagine.
4th down.
Rich Marty is back deep now as you watch Summers. Each team has had 3 sacks.
There it
blocked. It's blocked in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown it is. A touchdown.
Lindsey, that was not the kicker's fault.
Myers, Tom Myers.
Tommy Myers blocked the punt, and the boos that you hear, I tell you, the kicking game, they felt cost Detroit their game last week. Look at Henry. He's all the way out there congratulating that punt block team.
That's Myers came by him.
Now watch, he gets it off on rhythm, but nobody held up the Saints on the rush. From the outside, it was Tommy Myers. Here he comes.
37.
Got through the inside, Lindsey.
So with 11 minutes, 5 seconds left in the half, New Orleans Saints have taken a lead, and we have Blanchard holding Pizarro. The left footer boots it up, and the conversion is good.
Jimmy Stewart also in on that punt block. He recovered it, Lindsey. He got credit for the touchdown.
And so the New Orleans Saints have taken a lead of 14-7 in the second quarter.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Oh, I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option. And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Hank Stram and his quarterback Archie Manning. The Saints have scored 2 touchdowns in 1 minute, 15 seconds. And now they're kicking off as Arrow kicks it off. Hunter is center deep. James Hunter, 4 yards deep in the end zone, goal line 5, out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and stopped at the 21-yard line.
Well, Reggie Williams on an intercepted pass, 54-yard return, adding to the Bengal blitz in Cincinnati.
Stopped by Jones. 1st and 10 for the Lions.
28-0.
Summers, the punter who had the kick blocked. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Detroit Lions. It has been said there's nothing so devastating in a game of football as a blocked punt.
Well, the Lions last week had a punt block. They also had one return for a touchdown.
This is next to Bussey, and he gets it up there to the 25-yard line for 4. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go.
Stopped by Price and Moore.
Well, they're happy to be inside the dome, aren't they?
I'm happy to be inside the dome myself.
Too. I might be a little happy if I was sitting close to some of them little ladies.
Second down and 6 yards to go.
But I'd rather be here with you.
Of
Lindsay,
course,
I'll tell
I
you
bet.
that.
I bet. And that is Dexter Bussey. We just have word from our producer, David Fox, that Los Angeles has been picked as the site of the next Olympic Games, the ones after Moscow. That'd be 84. As you know, the two principal considerations were New York City and Los Angeles, and Los Angeles has been selected. The Olympics. And now he completes it back. And a penalty marker goes down. David Hill is the man who had the football. But there's a penalty marker way back upfield.
Penalty marker inside the 10-yard line might be holding. Hill, I think, was roughed up after he was down. Let's check it out.
Well, flags at various places on the field, so they probably have considerations. Let's get it from Mark Wright. Holding and clipping, both against the Detroit Lions.
That's going to nullify a third down, third and 8. They had third down, 8 yards to go for the first down. Picked up the first down up to the 35-yard line. And again, penalties are hurting the Lions.
That will move the ball back there to the 14-yard line. Now we get it.
Personal foul, clipped, 71, offense declined, holding, 76, offense, third down.
Freitas was holding, Hertwig was clipping.
Both offensive tackles. There's your holding on the right side over there. Hertwig's holding. Now, Landry steps up into the pocket and spots his open man. Little safety valve pass over here. Let's see if we can pick up the clip. Right there. There's the clip. That's Craig Hertwig on the clip. Roger Freitas on the hold.
3rd and 17 at the 14-yard line for the Lions. Landry swings it out in the right flat, and that's Horace King, and he gets it up to the 20-yard line, picked up 6 on the play, where it'll be 4th down and 11 yards to go, and that brings on you-know-who in the punting unit, Wilbur Summers. Rich Marty has dropped back to receive the punt now. Summers is standing on his 5. That's Marty. Waiting to receive it, standing on his own 35.
Summers back to the line.
Rush 10. Almost did it again. Fair catch is called for at the 48-yard line. So New Orleans starts first and 10 at their own 48.
Boy, Tommy Myers almost blocked another one.
Well, here are games coming up next week. The Giants are in Atlanta. Paul and I'll be there. Philadelphia is at Detroit. Green Bay against Minnesota.
New Orleans against Chicago. Tampa Bay goes to Dallas, and San Francisco at Los Angeles. And then the doubleheader game, St. Louis against Washington. Boy, that's always been a dandy.
That's all next Sunday on CBS.
NFL at its best on CBS.
Chuck Muncie gets the pitch from Manning and struggles across to the 49-yard line for a gain of 3, where it'll be second down and 7 yards to go for the Saints. Paul Newmont made the stop. Eight minutes, 22 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Saints are leading by a score of 14-7.
2nd and 8.
Burton comes to the left side and Don Herman to the right for Archie Manning. Burton trying to run under it, and he can't hold on. He made it interesting at that.
I'll tell you, he beat Walt Williams in a foot race down the left side. He's shaken up on the play. Manning now 4 out of 11 for 40 yards, 1 interception. And Larry Burton, who's been troubled with hamstring pulls. Watch this. He's got good protection. The fly pattern. Watch Levi Johnson coming over from his free safety. And Burton got his hands on the football, just couldn't hold on.
He's hurt. He's hurt. He's still down.
He got banged by Levi Johnson, went right on top of him.
He's still down in the end zone, Burton is, and so we're being held up because of the injury to Burton. Well, the CBS Sports Spectacular comes up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. And we're talking about the world's strongest men's competition. And we'll have that, of course, a tournament in which 8 athletes were selected to compete on the recommendations of authorities in the field of strength.
Boy, and don't miss the Super Bowl of motocross at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. That was wild last year. I tell you, Jim Pomeroy's back, Jim Weinert, last year's champion. In fact, Weinert's making a comeback after injuries which sidelined him most of the year.
And the purse at Belmont, $250,000 for the Cup.
Well, that's one of the great races leading up to the Horse of the Year honors, and one of the most important horse races in the fall Triple Crown of racing.
Right here, we have 7 minutes, 57 seconds left to play as Larry Burton is still getting attention. Having been injured on the last play, Hank Stram came out. Is talking to an official as he comes back across the field.
Well, the Jets have gotten on the scoreboard. Baltimore took an early 14-0 lead. Now a 23-yard field goal by Pat Leahy has cut Baltimore's lead to 11. The Colts second quarter, 14, the Jets 3.
Burton being assisted to his feet now. And he's coming off.
Not too many guys going to stay with him man on man, especially when he runs that long fly pattern. They almost have to have inside help from him.
Joel Parker has replaced him now. He's a 3-year veteran from Florida, 6'5", 215-pounder. And the New Orleans Saints, on a 3rd down situation, have the ball at the 49-yard line of the Detroit Lions. It's 3rd and 8.
3rd down, about 7.
Parker far to the left side. Herman's in the slot left. Archie Manning on a reverse, taken by Herman. And Herman is being pulled down by Ken Sanders. Ken Sanders.
Lindsay, it did not fool Ken Sanders. He's already credited with 2 sacks today. And the fine defensive left end was not fooled by the reverse. He smelled it all away.
Loss of 17 yards, makes it 4th and 25, and brings on the punter now for New Orleans.
Watch Ken Sanders at the top of your screen. Here comes the reverse to Herman. And boy, Sanders had his eyesight on him all the way.
Tom Blanchard in deep punt formation, and Dick Geron is back to receive it. Long, high, spiraling kick. Hits back there around the 10. It's bounding around, and it's going to go into the end zone. Touchback. It'll be put in play 1st and 10. The 20-yard line. It didn't miss going out at the flag very long. A 66-yard punt for Tom Blanchard.
Almost took a right turn right into that coffin corner. 66 yards for Blanchard.
No wonder Henry Stram talked him out of retiring. Ball is at the 20 now as the Detroit Lions take over with 7 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the half. Marv Hubbard is in there now. Veteran running back, a 235-pounder. Rick Kane is in there at running back as well. Here's Landry's pass. Jarvis incomplete. Ray Jarvis on a turnout. 2nd and 10 at the 20, and the Detroit fans are getting a little restless as New Orleans leads in the game by a score of 14-7. Jarvis back to the huddle.
Jarvis had a pretty good year last year. He caught 39 passes for over 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Comes across that middle. He can catch it in the crowd, Lindsey.
This is Rick Kane carrying. Kane sprints out to the 29-yard line.
We've got a penalty against Detroit. Offsides. Kane is a rookie, number 3 draft choice out of San Jose State, 5'11", 200 pounds. Preliminary indication was against Detroit, but they're going to leave the ball short of the 30-yard line.
3rd and 1.
3rd down and a yard to go.
No penalty.
Marv Hubbard looking for a yard and got it with yards to spare. Out just short of the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Myers and Merlo made the stop.
There's Big Marvin, 237 pounds, off the left side, and he got the first down easily. Ernie Jackson finally pulls him down.
Incidentally, the official statistician has now credited Tom Myers officially with the block punt and the recovery for the touchdown for the New Orleans Saints. So it is 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry going long to Jarvis, and it's incomplete. Ray Jarvis. Ernie Jackson on the corner coverage. 6-year veteran from Duke.
He's calling for a little something from the sideline. Now watch Landry here. It looks as if it might be a little stickum. See, he touches his hands, puts it on his hands, and then throws it back. And that gives him a little bit better grip on the football.
In the baseball world, at the end of an inning and a half, the New York Yankees 6 and the Toronto Blue Jays nothing. Rained out yesterday. Landry is 5 for 10, 52 yards in the air. Tries this one to Big Marv Hubbard. Got it across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 4. Greg Westbrooks and Elois Grooms made the stop.
Stop by Grooms and Westbrook.
Grooms is 6'4", 250-pounder from Tennessee Tech.
3rd about 3.
Horace King has come into the game now, and Marv Hubbard has gone out.
And he's getting a nice hand. He was released from the Oakland Raiders, of course. And it's tough when you leave a championship team like that. And it seems to me that Hubbard's been playing longer than 8 years, doesn't it?
Luther Blue is far to the right side for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry. That's all. That's Bob Pollard and Jim Merlo arriving on the scene. And it also brings in the punting unit for the Detroit Lions.
4th sack today for Greg Landry. St. Louis has taken an early first quarter score. Jim back in a 49-yard field goal.
Wilbur Summers is in deep punt formation, and back is Rich Moody to receive it, and the New Orleans Saints are rushing 10.
There it is.
Penalty marker running into the kicker, and it is taken on a fair catch at the 29.
It was Jimmy Stewart, number 26, who ran into the kicker. It's going to be an automatic 1st down, and Detroit is going to have the football back.
5-yard penalty. First down. There is a difference between running into the kicker and roughing the kicker. That was running into the kicker, a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic 1st and 10. Just in advance of the 43-yard line. We have 5 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in the half. New Orleans Saints 14, Detroit Lions 7. Jarvis goes to the right side. J.D. Hill comes, or rather Hill to the right side and Jarvis to the left side. Running backs to the 9. Landry has the ball. Pumps it in the left flat. Taken out there by David Hill. Got across the 50 and down to the 43 for a 1st and 10.
David Hill, Clarence Chapman makes a stop. They're out of the I formation here. Gets good pass protection out of the play action. Picks up 13 yards, 1st down. David Hill. Here's Clarence Chapman coming up to make the stop.
So trailing by 7 points, getting along late in the 2nd quarter. The Lions have the ball 1st and 10 at the New Orleans 42, just short of it. Split 'em. Next to Bessie. Gets into the 37-yard line before Bob Pollard stopped him. A gain of about 5 to make it 2nd and 5.
Jim Harris has thrown a touchdown pass of 12 yards to Don Wood. San Diego 7, Kansas City nothing. 1st quarter.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. Jarvis to the left side. Luther Blue coming out wide right for Greg Landry. Even up Horace King and Dexter Bussey. Now they try the reverse with David Hill, the tight end. But he's cut off at the pass for a loss back to the 44-yard line.
It's Greg Westbrook's over there. I think both teams were ready for these reverses, Lindsey.
Fettersfield, Derlin Moore. Loss of about 7 on the play, which is going to make it 3rd and 12 yards to go. Third and 12 for the Detroit Lions, with the Saints leading 14-7, 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 1st half. Jarvis to the left side, Luther Blue coming out wide right. Bussey left and King right. Greg Landry. And it is completed to Luther Blue, and he is at the 25, spinning his way to the 23-yard line. Luther Blue, the rookie from Iowa State.
Coverage by Ernie Jackson. Now, Lindsey, when the Detroit Lions took over the football here, they threw a fly pattern against Jackson. It was incomplete. Now, that's what the fly pattern does. He's consciously thinking about they might try deep again. He lays off a little bit. Greg Landry comes back and throws a turnout to Luther Blue for the 1st down, a pickup of 21 yards.
Making it 1st and 10 for Greg Landry's Detroit Lions at the 23-yard line. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the half. Giving him up. King left, Bussey right. That's Horace King. Well, he slipped down, but no contact, so he got up and proceeded. Got it down to the 18-yard line. Maybe the 19th. Joe Fettersfield and Tom Myers made the stop. The clock is counted down to 2:04, 2:03, 2:02, 2:01, and there it is, the 2-minute warning. Ball is spotted squarely on the 19-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Lions at the Saints 19.
Here's a few tips on how to get out of an airport fast. 1, join the #1 club and reserve a car with Hertz. 2, have your license and credit card ready, because Hertz will be ready for you. Just sign and go. 3, need directions? Ask Hertz. They know the shortest route. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster.
Go, Juice! Go!
Rent a Ford from Hertz.
A superstar in rent-a-car.
Right.
Got some scores. Jim Zorn, an 82-yard pass, has brought Seattle back a little bit. 28-7, though, 2nd quarter. The Bengals lead.
2nd and 6 for the Lions at the 19-yard line of the Saints. 14-7 New Orleans. 2 minutes left to play in the 1st half. Greg Landry pumps once on the slant end. Hit his receiver incomplete.
A fine defensive play by Jackson that time. He cut off the quick post to Luther Blue. Real good defensive play. Here's the 1st quarter score in an important ball game. Dallas, a 2-yard run by Roger Staubach. Still in the 1st quarter. Cowboys lead the Giants 7-0.
3rd and 6 for the Detroit Lions at the 19-yard line of the Saints. Greg Landry is 7 for 13, 87 yards in the 1st half. Luther Blue goes out to the left side. Charlie Sanders is over there. Jarvis comes to the right side. Split the running backs for Greg Landry. Landry blitz. Luther Blue, and it's incomplete. Charlie Sanders, beg your pardon, Charlie Sanders, 88.
They had the blitz on.
It'll be 4th and 6 at the 19. Charlie Sanders, who has already tied the career reception record of the Lions, held by Gale Cogdill, needs one to set a record of his own.
It'll bring up 4th down. They'll try a field goal here.
Mickemeyer has come in. Danielson will hold for him. And it's going to be a 37-yard attempt. Steve Mickemeyer. Danielson puts it down. Mickemeyer boots it up, and it's no good.
Wide to the left.
It is no good, and so it'll be brought out and put in play at the 20-yard line.
So far, Lindsay, the kicking game of Detroit early here in the season leaves them somewhat to be desired, I'll tell you.
All right, next week on CBS, the Giants will be in Atlanta. The Eagles are against these Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers meet Minnesota.
That's the first game of the NFL doubleheader, depending on where you are. Then the second game,
New Orleans and the Bears, and then the doubleheader game, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals against the Washington Redskins. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the New Orleans Saints. 1:45 on the clock. Don Herman going across. Here's the pitch. Muncie has it. Penalty marker thrown. Muncie the 24-yard line.
Muncie carrying the ball.
Larry Hand made the stop, but there is a penalty marker to be checked out. Chuck Muncie.
Going to go against New Orleans here. I'm sure Hank would just love to run out the clock, take a 14-7 lead. They don't want Detroit with their hands on the football again.
New Orleans had a great preseason. They won 5 out of 6 games in the preseason. 10-yard penalty.
Holding, 86, offense, first down.
Jim Thaxton, 86. 1st and 20 at the 10 now for the New Orleans Saints.
20 yards.
1:37 remaining to be played in the first half, with New Orleans leading 14-7. Thaxton comes far to the left side. Archie Manning, the quarterback. Leave it on the ground to Muncie. Penalty markers thrown. Muncie stopped at the 9-yard line. Charlie West up from his strong safety along with Doug English.
Again. They'll probably decline this, Lindsay. Use the down up. They've got 3 timeouts remaining. They'll have to take a timeout after one of these downs.
Declined, 2nd down.
It is again number 86, Thaxton, holding, decline, so the down counts.
If I was Mr. Thaxton, I'd be a little bit more careful now. They're really, those referees have their eye on him.
Well, they'll look you up if you do it that often. It's 2nd and 21 at the 9-yard line. Draw play. No, lost another yard. Tony Galbraith carried. Lost a yard to the 8, so now it's 3rd and 22. Timeout for the Lions. They want to stop that clock at 1:23. Now, when play is resumed, it'll be 3rd down. About 22 yards to go. The Detroit Lions playing now here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. I did a lot of Lions games back in the 1950s when they had a coach named Buddy Parker, and they had a backfield consisting of Bobby Lane and Joe Walker and Pat Harder and Hunchy Hornsmar, and they weren't bad.
Yeah, they were pretty good off the field, too. They hung around together, didn't they?
I used to do that Thanksgiving morning game in Detroit between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, and the trick was, if you're working, is don't let the parade get between you and the stadium.
Well, I tell you, that Thanksgiving Day, I played in a few of those meetings over here in Detroit. It's a great game to play in, although I say I would much rather face a nice turkey dinner than some of those Detroit defenses in those days. I got a tie ball game. Chicago-St. Louis. Bob Thomas, a 22-yard field goal, has matched Jim Bakken. Bakken kicked one earlier from 49 yards out. First quarter score, the Bears 3, the Cardinals 3.
All right, here the New Orleans Saints 14. The Detroit Lions 7. New Orleans has the ball now. They have it at their own 8-yard line. Third down and 22 yards to go. Archie Manning, the quarterback. Leave it on the ground. Jack Muncie took a wrinkle at the tackle hole and went outside to the 10. James Hunter and Charlie West ran him out to the 10-yard line. That brings on the New Orleans kicking unit.
It was very important that time that Chuck Muncie should have fought against going out of bounds. It just, Detroit would have had to take another timeout. Now they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Punting situation coming up, and Tom Blanchard is in to do the punting. So far today, he has been kicking the ball out of sight.
You don't think they'll try to block this, do you?
Geron is back near midfield as the Detroit Lions are ready. But the offensive line holds him out well, and Geron calls for a fair catch and makes it at his 35, the 35-yard line.
Now, they're booing Dick Geron, which they shouldn't, because he had to make a fair catch. That stops the clock. But more importantly is Detroit had a punt block on, so everybody's rushing the kicker. He had no blockers back there at all.
A 55-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. Gives the Lions the ball in their own territory at their own 35. So that Blanchard has had punts of 39, 52, 36, 66, and 55 yards today, which is booming the football. Greg Landry. Luther Blue diving, and he's got it. It is incomplete. Incomplete. Ernie Jackson covering. Well, he had it, but the officials say short hop.
He had it in the webbing of his glove, right, Lynn?
That's where he had it. Second and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Boy, they're really trying to work on the defensive left side. The New Orleans Saints, I'd say over 50, much bigger percentage going over against Ernie Jackson. Most of the passes for Detroit, they're really working on it.
Jarvis left and Luther Blue right for Greg Landry up the middle, and it is taken by David Hill. He's got it at his 49-yard line with 57 seconds on the clock. Chuck Chris made the tackle.
They'll take a timeout here.
14-yard pickup on the play. Spotted at the 48-yard line. Wait, is first and 10. Another timeout for the Lions. Stopping that clock as you see in set 57. And she's for the Detroit Lions, I think. Play is resumed. The Lions will have it trailing by 7. Landry is 8 for 16, 100 yards passing here in the first half, but his Lions are trailing by 7 points. Charlie Sanders is coming into that huddle right there, number 88. What a career he's had. 10-year veteran out of the University of Minnesota, 6'4", 230-pounder. Hank Stramp, many, many years, 15 years, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Before that, the Dallas entry, which moved to Kansas City. I went out to do a game, the Minnesota Vikings against Kansas City, and Henry took me upstairs and showed me the new offices and all the new facilities, and said he had been waiting all his life for those facilities. He was fired after that season. Now it is Landry back. Here's a long pass downfield to Luther Blue, and he catches it.
Boy, he turned it on. Luther Blue, the rookie number 4 draft choice out of Iowa State, and Landry wishes he had that one back. He had Jackson beaten. Just got finished mentioning they're really working on Jackson. He's had a busy afternoon.
You see David Hill coming into the huddle for a little word there for Landry. It is second and 10 at the 48-yard line. Clock says 51 seconds, stopping, of course, on the incompletion. Jarvis going to the left side, Luther Blue to the right side, and the tight end is David Hill. Landry. They threw this one away. Penalty marker into the stack. He had a safety valve out there, Horace King, but threw it away.
Could be holding.
And it is. That's against the line. Line of scrimmage is the 48. It's a 10-yard penalty. Make it 2nd and 20 at the 38-yard line.
Holding, 68, offense, 3rd down.
Mark Markovich, the center. 7th Detroit penalty, a total of 60 yards. 45 seconds on the clock.
That's too many penalties.
Jarvis left, Luther Blue to the right side. Saints 14, Lions 7. Landry. Up the middle and complete. Dexter Bussey to the 50. Outside to the 45, heading for the sideline, and he gets out at the 40-yard line. Ernie Jackson pulled him out. 1st and 10, he got to the stick.
Oh, great job by Dexter Bussey. They're over the middle, and he fought his way to get out of bounds. 34 seconds still left on the clock, and Detroit still has one very important timeout left. He picked up 22 yards, got the 1st down. Smart running by Dexter Bussey.
Jerry Markwright, the referee, indicating that this is an official's timeout until they can get things properly adjusted, and there's somebody injured along that sideline as well. So this is an official's timeout for the injury.
It's exciting. We cannot...
It's Jackson.
Is it
Ernie Jackson.
Ernie Jackson, who the Detroit Lions have been working over all day long over on the left side.
So he is injured, and that is Hank Stram over. Then we'll see about him, and
I tell you, I always like that about Hank, and he gets involved with these players, and a lot of people start talking about players when they get hurt. Hank always comes across and sees about the injury. Here it is. Let's pick it up and see if we can pick up the injury. That's Ernie Jackson getting Bussey out of bounds. Now he goes out of bounds, and I really can't tell whether Bussey hit him after he went out of bounds or not. Let's take a look from another angle. Here comes Bussey. There's Jackson. Well, he might have. He's already hurt right there.
Yes, he is.
I think he might have pulled right arm when he was tackling. With that arm tackle, he might have pulled the shoulder out.
Craig Cassidy's in there now in his place. Craig Cassidy's son, a former Heisman Trophy winner. Hopalong Cassidy. And here's the pass play taken by Horace King. He goes out of bounds as they move it just short of the 30-yard line. Clock shows 29 seconds left to play in the half. That is short of the 1st down, lacks about a yard.
And I told you that time that Muncie ran the sweep around the right side and they forced him out of bounds, it looms pretty big here because Detroit still has a timeout left.
2nd down, about a yard to go. Short of the 30-yard line of New Orleans in Detroit possession. Landry. And it is incomplete.
Landry was thinking turn in to Charlie Sanders. He just cut on upfield.
It'll be 3rd and 1. Incompletion stops the clock. 24 seconds in set.
Well, we got a famous rookie in for the New Orleans Saints, Craig Cassidy. From Ohio State, of course, the son of Hopalong Cassidy, who was a star here with the Detroit Lions. Craig playing on the corner now in place of Ernie Jackson.
There he is, Craig Cassidy. He says, I'm defense, my dad was offense. 3rd down and a yard to go. Landry. Incomplete to Horace King. So it'll be 4th down and a yard to go. Saints are leading by 7 points. Field goal unit was ready to come out, but Tommy Hudspeth says, no, hold it.
See, they still have that timeout remaining, Lynch. They'll probably go for the 1st down here and take the timeout if they make it, of course.
4th and 1. 19 seconds left to play in the half. New Orleans 14, Detroit 7. Dexter Bussey has got the 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Clock is running, and now the timeout with 13 seconds. Now the timeout, that final timeout by Detroit.
They run behind those two big tight ends. They're lining up on the same side over there, Linz. And it's almost single wing theory. You remember that at Tennessee, don't you?
I'll say I didn't know there was anything but a single wing till I was 30 years old.
But it's just power football. They run behind those two big tight ends. There's one of them, Charlie Sanders.
Charlie Sanders along the sideline. Dexter Bussey has carried 10 times and picked up 45 yards. Greg Landry has quarterbacked the Detroit Lions throughout. He has 13 seconds. Now the ball is at the 25-yard line. Tommy Hudspeth is talking it over with Landry.
Well, they have one play. They can either go for the 6, throw it in the end zone, or if they do complete the pass, Ernie Jackson is being helped back on the other side of the field to the Saints area. And there's Landry. If they complete the pass inbounds in the field of play, and he's tackled, it's going to run out the clock. So they got to be pretty careful. They've got to get out of bounds if they complete the pass, if they don't throw it into the end zone. Stepping into the booth, one of my men, I'll tell you, Ron Kramer, one of the great tight ends of all time with the Packers, ended up his career in Detroit. Ron, they're using those two tight ends to pretty good effectiveness here in the first half.
Well, they sure are, Paul. You know, it's a new innovation in football as Greg Landry goes back to pass. It's a little bit overthrown, but it's a new innovation in football, and it's power football, as you've mentioned. It's almost like a single wing with those two big guys, 235, 240 pounds, blocking in front of those backs. It's a good new prospect to the game, and it's probably the newest thing since the I formation.
I tell you, when we had this guy playing, I remember one game, Lindsay, in the championship, he weighed 279 pounds. He's the biggest guy on the whole field as a tight end. Here's a field goal.
Field goal attempt coming now. A 42-yarder, and it is good. A 42-yard field goal is good.
Well, and I tell you, that timeout, once he got out of bounds, it's going to look back to haunt the New Orleans Saints here with that 3 points.
Steve Mickemeyer put it up there, and so there are 2 seconds remaining on the clock after the successful 42-yard field goal, which makes it the Saints 14 and the Lions 10.
Well, Ron, you watching Detroit football here since you retired, living in this area, and they really haven't been too consistent offensively over the years.
Well, they really haven't, Paul. Defensively, they've been very, very strong. They're a blitzing team, always have been. Traditionally, they have been very, very strong defensively. And they always had some good linebackers and defensive linemen, and this year is no exception. And that's what's going to make them somewhat of a half-and-half team. You know, they're going to win some games, they're going to lose some games because they're going to be able to overwhelm people defensively. I really feel that Detroit does have a pretty good chance here in this Western Division, and here's the kickoff.
Pounding down there, and it's Marty who is letting it go by him into the end zone. There will be no run back, and since the clock does not start in the last 2 minutes until the ball is touched, we still have 2 seconds. Touch back, and it'll be brought out and put in play 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. After you get to the 2-minute warning on the kickoff, the clock does not start until the ball is touched on the field of play by a member of the receiving team. So it didn't start, and we have 2 seconds. The clock will start again when the ball is snapped, which means simply that New Orleans has time to get one off.
It's amazing, isn't it, Lindsay, what these professional teams can do with the last 2 minutes. Detroit, 45 yards and get 3 points out of it, puts them back into the game.
Well, they put a little time in on. Of course, coming up at halftime, Grant Herb, Phyllis, and the Greek.
Now they simply run the sneak, and the quarterback kneels, and time has run out. And that's it. At the end of the first half, here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, the score is the New Orleans Saints 14 and the Detroit Lions 10.
There's 85 feet between you and the ground, and there's enough juice at your fingertips to light up the county. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, Miller's stands clear. Beer after beer. If you got the time, we got the beer. Miller Beer.
This is my team, the Chicago Bears. Hello, I'm Johnny Musso, and I'd like to show you Chicago. Carl Sandburg, the poet, calls Chicago the city of big shoulders. That's because it carries so much of the trade and commerce of this country. It's where trucks and trains and ships pass through on their way to all of America. It's tall buildings on the lakefront, Old Town, Rush Street, and the Magnificent Mile. And it's people, good-natured, hard-working people, people who work in our United Way, for the Boys Clubs, YMCA, Travelers Aid, and many other agencies funded by our United Way. They take pride in the Bears, in our town, in our United Way. You see, Chicago has more than big shoulders. It has a big heart. On behalf of all our volunteers, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Coming back onto the field now, the New Orleans Saints, who are leading in this game by a score of 14-10. And the Detroit Lions, who are trailing by 4 points.
Well, Detroit's got all the stats. I'll say that. They've got 11 first downs to the Saints 5. Total net yards, 183 yards for Detroit, 56 for New Orleans. And that's exactly what happened last week. Lindsay, Detroit had 363 yards in offense, was on the short end of the score.
Well, it also goes to prove that if you block a punt, it is very likely to throw the stats all out of kilter.
That sure is.
That's Tommy Hudspeth, the head coach of these Detroit Lions, getting set with his headset there that goes to members of his staff upstairs, getting the headset on now. That has become, the electronics equipment has become part and parcel of the football business now. I remember a story Harry Mayer told. He was coaching Ole Miss one year, playing Tennessee, and he put his headset on and discovered that he was on a party line. They had him plugged into the Tennessee line so that he was party to all the things that were said.
He knew where to go after the game, right?
Yes, he did. He knew. Hank Stram.
Look at that dapper suit he's got on there. That's got about $450. Hank doesn't buy anything cheap.
Greg Landry threw to 7 different receivers during the first half of this ball game. There's a time when the Detroit Lions used to start Landry and let him play a while, and start Munson and let him play a while, and start Landry again. Landry's the quarterback this year.
There are your stats. Offensive play. Detroit had the ball twice as much. First downs, 11-5. Yards gained rushing, 95-29, 88-27 upstairs. Total net yards, 3 times as much for Detroit, but they trail by 4 points. Landry, 10 out of 22. Here in the first half for 131 yards, 1 TD. Manning's 4 out of 10, good for 40 yards.
The Detroit Lions are getting in position to deploy now to receive the kickoff. The address to the troops. That is Hunter going center deep. Rick Kane is coming to one side of him. And Zarrow will kick off. Rich Zarrow, the placement kicker for the New Orleans Saints, went to St. Francis Prep in Brooklyn and then went to Harvard. Vince Lombardi and Joe Torre, the baseball manager of the Mets, went to St. Francis Prep. Neither made it to Harvard. High in the air at the goal line to Hunter. Hunter to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. And Hunter spins to the 21. And he goes down at the 21. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Detroit Lions at their own 21-yard line. Greg Landry comes on now. They trail by 4 points as we start playing the third quarter. Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan.
I just want to add, that's a great plus to have a guy like Zarrow when he kicks off from the 35-yard line. He can put it consistently into the end zone. Boy, it's a great plus for you during the year.
Jarvis to the left side, Luther Blue to the right. Horace King is set back with Dexter Bussey. That's King. Got up there to the 24-yard line for 3 yards, where it'll be second down and 7 yards to go. Jim Merlo in to make the stop. Left outside linebacker for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, their linebackers are rated. You have to rate them good, and they're also young. Merlo, only a 4-year veteran. Federspiel in his 6th year, and Greg Westbrook's only a 3-year veteran. So they're going to be there a long time.
Even up the running backs again. Give it to Horace King. Got across the 30-yard line. Just short of the first down, however. Derlin Moore, 5-year veteran from Oklahoma, made the stop. Be third down about a yard. Horace King for the 1st and 10. He picked it up as he got to the 34-yard line. Tom Myers made the tackle.
Well, they went away from the tight end. Well, of course, I'll bet on 3rd and short on your playbook, your short list is what the teams call it, Glenn, that they probably don't have more than 4 or 5 short yardage runs. And that sometimes amazes fans when I tell them on a short list they only have 3 or 4 plays, but they feel they're going to run them and run them.
Andre slant in and Luther Blue. The intended receiver incomplete, 2nd and 10 at the 34.
Luther Blue is playing in place of J.D. Hill. He's supposedly out for the game with the hamstring pull in the first half.
J.D. Hill, the 7-year veteran from Arizona State. Second down, 10 yards to go. Greg Landry called the play and brings him up. You saw him talking to Rockne Freitas. Name for you, guess who?
Rockne.
Landry back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Ray Jarvis. 3rd and 10 at the 34.
That's the 2nd consecutive play that Jarvis, Luther Blue was on the right side on the play previous, and they have both been open. Landry has just missed connection.
Charlie Sanders comes back onto the field now.
They're still working on New Orleans' left side. Ernie Jackson is hurt, and Craig Cassidy is in there now playing on the corner.
Landry 10 for 24, 131 yards in the air. 3rd down play here. Luther Blue right and Jarvis left. Landry. And it's complete to Jarvis at the 50-45. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Tom Myers wrote him out as 1st and 10 for the Lions in New Orleans territory inside the 40.
He just keyed the zone in, Lindsey. It's the same play that he was incomplete on the right side. This time he puts Jarvis on the left side. Little turn-in pattern right there. He's wide open. He beat Clarence Chapman on the right side to pick up a 26-yard first down.
New Orleans Saints are leading 14-10. The Lions have the ball now in New Orleans territory. Luther Blue to the right side, Jarvis to the left side, running backs in an eye. At least right now they are. Even them up. Bussey to the left side, Horace King to the right. Greg Landry to Bussey. Dexter Bussey to the 38-yard line for 2. Stopped by Bob Pollard. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go.
He's a good one. Bob Pollard. Derlin Moore, actually, the other side. He plays the other side, number 74, defensive right tackle, are probably the best defensive linemen for the Saints.
Luther Blue goes left this time, and Jarvis comes right. Let him King to the left, Bussey to the right. And Landry keeps it. Landry up the middle of the 32-yard line as Alex Price and Greg Westbrooks brought him down. Picked up about 6 yards.
Probably just an automatic between the center, John Morris, and Landry. Just tapped him on the fanny there. Said, let's take it.
They're down 2.5 yards to go. Get David Hill back in there now, number 81.
Well, I guess I should say hello to my man Jimmy Taylor down there in New Orleans watching the game. If he's not outside lifting weights in his backyard with his son Chip.
Landry calls a timeout. Not sure, and he wants to call a timeout and get this straightened out. So Landry turned quickly and called a timeout. They used to call Paul Hornung and Jimmy Taylor Thunder and Lightning at Green Bay. I hear they have a couple of acts in New Orleans they call Thunder and Lightning.
Você me conhece? Eu sou conhecido porque uso a cabeça no campo de futebol. Mas também uso a cabeça quando viajo. Eu sempre levo comigo o cartão da American Express. Já usei em mais de 40 países. Ele é conhecido e respeitado em todo o mundo. Até nos lugares onde eles falam línguas estranhas. Como o inglês.
To apply for a card, look for this display wherever the card is welcomed.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
We put Mobil 1 into this car and drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. We then tested the oil and found that used Mobil 1 still protected the engine as well as new ordinary motor oil. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
Lyon must be running for office, shaking hands with the fans in the stands. Third down, 2.5 yards to go now for the Detroit Lions. At the 32. Dexter Bussey goes outside King. He's got the first. He's at the 25-20. And he goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Chuck Crisp bounced him out.
Well, this time on 3rd and short, they go to the side of the tight end. There's your double team blocking up. You really can't see it, but David Hill and Sanders are over there. Bussey takes it to the outside, picks up 15 yards, pushed out of bounds by Chuck Crisp.
That was worth taking the time out to get straightened out.
Here's some scores. Atlanta and Washington are tied up in the 3rd quarter in a defensive battle, 3 apiece. Baltimore 20 over the Jets 3, 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 for the Lions at the 17-yard line. Dexter Bussey moved it to the 13-yard line, picked up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Alex Price in to make the stop.
Cincinnati, Jim Zorn's got them coming back. They led 28-0. Seattle's cut it to 14, 3rd quarter.
Dexter Bussey's carried 13 times for 67 yards. The Lions in this drive for the 3rd consecutive time picked up the first down on a 3rd down play. 2nd and 5 at the 13. Saints are leading 14-10. Greg Landry back. And it's incomplete to Luther Blue at the 5-yard line.
Craig Cassidy got his hands on the football. Broke up the play. That's Luther Blue. Dallas 28-7, and guess who scored the last touchdown for Dallas? Tony Dorsett, or Tony Dorsett, whichever way you'd like. Tony Dorsett, 11-yard run, his first professional football touchdown.
There's a penalty being marked off against the Detroit Lions, and we'll pick this one up.
Holding, 68, offense, 2nd down.
Mark Markovich was holding on the play. So it's still 2nd down.
8th penalty so far for the Lions, 70 yards. San Diego's taking a 6-point lead in the 3rd quarter over Kansas City. Second Star, maybe, win 2 in a row. Could that be true?
2nd and 16 at the 23-yard line. Try a draw play. Horace King to the 20-yard line. Picked up 3 on the draw.
Good end zone shot here. Watch the defensive tackles take an inside push. There's almost a standoff on the middle linebacker, Federspiel, who gets help from Jim Merlo there. Merlo on the stop. Good camera action there on the draw.
Merlo, formerly a college star at Stanford. 3rd and 13.
Seattle's added another field goal from 32 yards out. John Leopold, 28-17.
Landry. All alone in the end zone. Charlie Sanders for the touchdown. He has just set a new record for career receptions. They moved 78 yards in 12 plays. And on a 20-yard pass play from Landry to Sanders, he has just set the career record. He's getting congratulations for the touchdown and for the reception. The touchdown sends the Lions ahead, of course.
Oh, a great drive. They took the second half kickoff, and this is the way it ends. Watch Landry, Lindsey. He steps up into the pocket. He steps around. A good block. Craig Hertwig took the defensive end around him, and Charlie Sanders was all alone in the end zone. There wasn't anybody within 8 yards of him when he broke loose free. Watch this. Landry steps up to the inside and finds Charlie Sanders wide open for the touchdown.
An ovation here at the Silverdome for Charlie Sanders. And he's got the ball, and he is bringing it off the ball for his trophy case. Charlie Sanders. A big ovation from the Lions fans. He's put in a lot of good years in a Lions uniform. That touchdown sent the Lions ahead. 16-14 conversion attempt coming, Steve Mickemeyer. Danielson is holding. Mickemeyer boots it up. It's good. So as they come back up the field, it is the Detroit Lions 17 and the New Orleans Saints 14. We have 9 minutes, 54 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter.
The Ford in Your Future is coming October 7th. The new Ford Fairmont. A new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has excellent mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons, and with its seat down can swallow up all this cargo. Is Fairmont the Ford of your future? Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Find out for yourself. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from the Wagon Master.
Time to trade in for TouchTune at your Magnavox dealer now. Trade in your old TV for any new Magnavox TouchTune color television and save big. Just in time for football season. And just for touching any TouchTune television, you'll be handed free the official 1977 NFL record manual. Choose from a wide range of prices and styles during trade-in for TouchTune time. Trade and save at your Magnavox dealer now.
Hawkeye hits rock bottom as Radar is wounded in action on MASH. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Charlie Sanders is a happy man. And here's the kickoff by Mickemeyer. Maudie and Stewart are deep, and it is taken back there at the 13-yard line and returned to the 20.
And
Boykin carried it.
That's Greg Boykin, a rookie out of Northwestern.
Got it out to the 30-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the New Orleans Saints at the 30. Detroit Lions, by the way, have had 137 yards rushing, 134 yards passing for 271.
A nice balanced attack, I'll tell you that.
Baseball score, the New York Yankees in the American League are leading the Toronto Blue Jays 8-0, 6th inning. Larry Burton back in the ballgame, wide receiver to the left side. Left the field injured in the first half. Handing to Chuck Muncie. Muncie to the left side and across the 35, 36-yard line. 2nd and 4 at the 36, Charlie West up from the strong safety to make the tackle.
He's kind of hobbling back to the huddle again. First quarter, he almost strained an ankle. Went over to the sidelines, got it taped. There's a third quarter score. Redskins put a touchdown on the board, lead by 7.
New Orleans has had only 59 total yards, 31 on Muncie's touchdown run. Tony Galbraith carried. Got it out to the 38 before Doug English brought him down. A gain of 2 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 2. 8 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
St. Louis, Chicago. Two early field goals by Jim Bakken have added a touchdown. They lead the Bears by 10.
Jim Laslovic, little linebacker you saw there for the Lions. Galbraith ahead of Muncie, thunder and lightning. Here's the pitch to Muncie. Well, he didn't get it. Anything, he lost a yard. That brings on the punting unit for the New Orleans Saints.
Good defense by the Detroit Lions right there on 3rd and 2.
Humoff and Hunter got to him. Now it's Tom Blanchard in to do the punting. As you see Landry along the sidelines, Giron is going deep to receive the punt. Blanchard has been booming that football today. We're indoors so that there is no wind.
I've seen him throw it out of this formation, too.
Heavy rush. Went down on his knees. Fair catch. Made at the 17th. He went into the Academy Award act, but he got no flag.
Tell you what, they almost blocked the punt, too. 45-yard punt.
So the Detroit Lions lead in the game. They're leading 17-14, and they'll start 1st and 10 now with the ball at their own 17.
Where does your money go after you put it in your bank? Well, some of it's right here, building your neighborhood, construction loans and home mortgages, but also with municipal bonding, money for your public parks, and money for your schools. Today, America's banks have over $80 billion invested in communities like yours. So if you believe in your community, there's no better place to put your money than your bank. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
To get ahead these days, you got to keep on your toes. So I've got something to keep my competition flat-footed. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It has 190. The gas is made to sell below my regular, and 220, the gas that sells below my premium. So if your car runs on regular or premium, my pump could save you money on quality gas. Listen, if I don't want you to go right by me, I got to do right by you. Sunoco's penny pinching pump can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Lions have the ball 1st and 10 and advance their own 17. Rick Kane and Marv Hubbard are the running backs in there just now for Landry. Kane and Hubbard. Split them. Landry. Well, he spins away. Penalty marker's thrown. And he gets up to the 30, 35 and out of bounds. Penalty marker thrown over there as well. There's Chapman, shoved him out. Chuck Christ over there gesticulating. Christ being restrained a little as a marker was thrown right there. It's about the 37, 38-yard line. So we got a couple of flags to check out.
Got a 20-yard pickup there on the run. Let's check out the penalty. Seattle fighting back with another field goal violation.
Personal foul,
cut it to 8.
Number 24, defense. Illegal use of the hands, number 68, offense. Offset, first down.
They're offsetting penalties. Mark Markovich, illegal use of hands for Detroit. Clarence Chapman for the New Orleans Saints, a personal foul. They're offsetting. They'll bring it back and do it all over again. 1st and 10 back there in advance of the 17-yard line. 7 minutes, 28 seconds left in the third quarter. The Detroit Lions are leading the New Orleans Saints 17-14. Jarvis far to the right side. Got Kane setting the slot right. Even him up with Hubbard now. Kane and Hubbard. Landry has the ball and Kane carries. 25-30. Went out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Chuck Christ moved him out.
Oh, they're getting good blocking on the left side. Now watch the tight ends if we can pick them up. Both Hill and Sanders are on the left side here, and they just clear the way over there. Rick Kane wasn't even touched till he got the first down. 18-yard pickup. There's your blocking. Here's Sanders and Hill there. They're getting standoff blocks. Marv Hubbard knocks one of the cornermen to the outside. Kane cuts inside for 18 yards. Good blocking.
Kane's carried twice, and he's picked up 27 yards. This is a 1st and 10 at the 36. Dexter Bussey. 40, 45, 50. And he's at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for Detroit at the New Orleans 48.
Here they go again to the double tight end again. Sanders cut Bob Pollard down to the inside, and Lindsey, they're just opening up huge holes off that power situation. 16 yards this time.
Detroit Lions are leading by a score of 17-14. They've moved the ball into New Orleans territory here midway of the third quarter.
There's those two tight ends again lining up on the same side. And actually, that's been the key to the running offense for Detroit all day long.
Bussey's carried 14 times for 82 yards. He and Horace King are the running backs now. Here's Bussey again.
Same play.
Cuts inside King. Moved it down to the 42-yard line. He picked up 6.
Oh, those two tight ends are just doing a great job blocking. They're just, the back, when he gets to the line of scrimmage, everybody's wiped out. They've got at least 6 or 7 yards every time here in the second half. 88 yards for Dexter Bussey, 15 carries. Not a bad afternoon.
Second down and 4 yards to go. Detroit's ball on the New Orleans, 42.
Let's see if they run it to the right. There's your two tight ends again, Lynn.
Tighten up Horace King. Now they go to the left side with King this time, and he can't get away. Being pulled down by Greg Westbrook. Penalty marker.
Somebody had a face mask penalty there. I think it was Westbrook's. It could have been the linebacker. Yep.
He'll give it to us after he marks off the penalty. I think you heard him ask the linesman if it's 60. If it is, it's Westbrook.
Grabbing the face mask, number 60, defense, first down.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can pick it up from the end zone. Here it goes. They go to the weak side for the first time in 4 plays. There's Westbrook. See, he's right hand. He's got a hold of the face mask. And the referee was right on top of it.
Herbert and Kane in there now. Detroit's had 18 first downs. New Orleans had 5. That's Kane who moved back, and he's in motion right. Greg Landry rolling. At the 35, he hit the deck. Picked up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Alex Price, Greg Westbrook there.
Here's a halftime score. Green Bay and the Oilers are tied up 10 apiece. Tony Frisch, 32-yard field goal, tied it up at halftime.
We have 5 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Detroit Lions are leading by a score of 17-14. Second down play. Dexter Bussey to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4. There's Chapman made the stop off the right corner.
Well, I think Detroit's found an offense here running the football this year that's a little bit different. They can use those 2 tight ends in a lot of different varieties. They use them on the same side today. Last week, they used them in the backfield. They had them in motion.
Bussey's carried 16 times for 93 yards today.
Here they come again.
Bussey again. Well, he's got the 1st and 10 as he kept spinning to the 22-yard line. Myers and Fettersfield.
There it is off the right side. A good block by Marv Hubbard, and everybody seals off to the inside, and Bussey does the rest with some hard running.
Detroit has converted 10 of 17 third down situations. Herbert's coming off now. Bussey now has picked up 102 yards and 17 carries. Rick Kane and Horace King are in there now as the running backs. Kane and King. Here's King over. King has the ball. Horace King. Well, he only got a yard. 2nd and 9 at the 21.
In this whole series, they've only run weak twice, Lindsey. They got a face mask penalty one time. They're stopped for no game. The rest of the time, they have been running to the tight end side of the field. That young man right there, 81, David Hill, and 88, Charlie Sanders. Oh, Dallas really putting it on the New York Giants. Second quarter, 31-7.
You saw Joe Campbell on the last tackle, the great rookie from the University of Maryland. 2nd and 9. There's Kane. Inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal at the 9 as Rick Kane, the rookie from San Jose State, carried. Chuck Chris stopped him.
I hate to keep reiterating. Look at David Hill knock everything to the inside. Sanders got his block. And the whole Detroit offense went right up into the hole. They're just running to that side almost every time.
Detroit's picked up 205 yards rushing. The Lions are leading the Saints 17-14. First down and goal to go at the 9-yard line. This is King. Touches out to the 1-yard line. Horace King carried the football as Craig Cassidy made the stop. Second and goal at the 1.
Boy, I tell you, Lindsey, it's a great display of power football here by the Detroit Lions. They've got those 2 tight ends, and I know they're a little bit tired right now having to block because they have stuck their nose right in there and moved the New Orleans Saints right off the line of scrimmage.
Glenn Bodine is coming there at an offensive guard now for the Detroit Lions. Second down and goal to go at the 1-yard line. Horace King and Dexter Bussey are the running backs. That's King. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Lions. Horace King took it in. They went 82 yards in 10 plays to score.
1 pass completion in the drive. End zone shot here, just off tackle. The guard pulls around, looks for the middle linebacker, gets a seal, and Horace King does the rest, diving over.
23-14, and a conversion attempt coming. Gary Danielson will hold for Steve Mickemeyer. It's up. No good. It is no good. And so the score remains. The Detroit Lions 23 and the New Orleans Saints 14. We have 1 minute, 47 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. You see King take it over again.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark Plus by AC. We'll help you smile throughout the miles. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plus by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark Plus by AC. Firing Spark Plus by AC.
Maybe you're using Desenex, but to kill the fungus that causes the burning, cracking, and itching of athlete's foot, Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer. Aftate kills all major types of athlete's foot fungus and helps prevent reinfection. In fact, the medication in Aftate has been proven more effective in killing athlete's foot fungus than the medication in Desenex. Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer.
The Saints led at halftime, but New Orleans has had the ball only 3 plays on the punt in the third quarter. Detroit's had 2 touchdown drives in the third quarter. 78 yards in 12 plays, 82 yards in 10 plays, 160 yards. Steve Mickemeyer puts it up. Stewart retreats. He takes it, but he will not run it out. He's on the end line. As a matter of fact, he'll be brought out and put in play first and 10 at the 20-yard line. 10 plays, 82 yards. They kept the ball 5 minutes, 51 seconds on that last scoring drive. Detroit's leading by a score of 23-14. 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. First and 10 at the 20.
There's Mickemeyer. Now, you think he looks a little bit serious. He's mad because he hooked that extra point. He hooked it way to the left.
Archie Manning brings up the New Orleans Saints. He's got the ball. He pumps it. Incomplete. Trying to thread a needle to Jim Thaxton.
Charlie West was right there. Got his hands on the football. It's a good pass. Thaxton had his hands on the football. Could have held it, but that little deflection by Charlie West caused the incompletion.
Second quarter score, San Diego 16, the Kansas City Chiefs 7. Right here, it's 23-14. The Lions are leading New Orleans. Archie Manning looks it over.
Well, the Detroit Lions have scored 16 unanswered points here. They trailed 14-7 first quarter. Randy Rich is coming in that Detroit defense.
Dropping back now is Manning. Well, he sort of sidearms it out there to Muncie, but it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10 at the 20-yard line. One minute, 30 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. Joel Parker coming in there. 3-year veteran from the University of Florida, 6'5", 215-pounder. Blitz. Manning just stays alive, but does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard. Ken Sanders and Herb Orvis made the stop, and the punting unit comes in.
Well, that's the tradition of the Detroit Lions. You give them a 7-point lead deep in your own territory, and they'll throw everybody at you except the kitchen sink. Here comes Tulane Laslovic. 78 Doug English is right there, and Manning is in trouble. Herb Orvis puts the stoppers on him with help from Ken Sanders.
Tom Blanchard's in to do the punting now. Giron is dropped back to receive it. Big Giron. Detroit's rushing 10. Contact made. Penalty marker thrown.
Ah, here we go. They're going at it. That's Garth Ken Naple, and he weighs about 215 pounds, and I think he went against one of the offensive linemen who probably averaged about 260, and they're still down there wrestling. Oh, the ref. That's 73. Joe Campbell, #1 draft choice out of Maryland.
Joe Campbell. Tom Kelleher, the veteran official there with him.
Campbell's listed as a defensive end. Of course, he was All-American in Maryland. #1 draft choice of the Saints, and they're playing him on offense today.
The officials are in conclave. That's Mark Wright doing the talking. The referee.
Personal foul.
Personal fouls on either team are offsetting.
Let's see who starts it here. We pick up 73. Nope, a little bit too late. That's Garth Ken Naple
and Joe
Campbell going at it. They can't hurt anybody with all that equipment on at that close range.
As long as you keep that helmet on. Blanchard's back in deep punt formation.
We'll try to block it, Lynn. Nope, we got the return on for the first time today.
Well, he gets a good roll. Picked up on the sideline now. That's Walt Williams, and Walt Williams is still way back at the 17-yard line.
And he lost about 14 yards trying to get tricky there.
Walt Williams, who is a cornerback, in one brief moment decided he would go for the glory, and instead took the ball back to his own 17. 51-yard punt for Blanchard, including the roll, which is counted statistically. Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m., the CBS Sports Spectacular. The World's Strongest Men, the first of a series of 10 broadcasts matching some of the world's strongest men. And then we'll have a horse race, $250,000, the Cup from Belmont. Then the Super Bowl of motocross, held last July at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, all on the CBS Sports Network. Rick Kane, stopped by Tom Myers.
I tell you, if that was that New Orleans Saints defense, wherever those two tight ends would line up, I would overload that way. I tell you that, they're just killing them off that strong side formation. 10-6, Washington over Atlanta. Falcons have cut it to 4.
Kane has picked up 45 yards in 4 carries. Ball is out there on the 24-yard line. And there's the gun. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Detroit Lions 23, New Orleans Saints 14. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Lenny loses his cool when his apartment catches fire in the riotous premiere of Busting Loose, Wednesday night on CBS.
Third quarter belonged to the Detroit Lions. Overall now, Detroit's had 21 first downs, New Orleans 5. Yards rushing, Detroit 220, New Orleans 38. Yards passing, Detroit 133, New Orleans 22. Second and 3 at the 24 for the Lions. As we start the fourth quarter, Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning in Pontiac, Michigan. Bussey carried, and he got just across the 25-yard line as Joe Fettersfield brought him down. Not enough for first down yardage. Total yardage for the day through three quarters, Detroit 353 yards and New Orleans 60.
Oh, that's some kind of offense, I tell you. They ranked number one in the NFC after their opening game loss to Chicago, and I think they're going to hold that.
Third down and 2 yards to go. 3rd and 2. Dexter Bussey. He's got the first down. As he moved it to the 32-yard line, Jim Merlo made the stop.
I think New Orleans would be getting used to seeing that 3rd and short run into that power situation again. Well, they know it's coming, but they can't stop it.
Spotted squarely on the 33 for the Lions. 1st and 10 in their own territory. Third down conversions, Detroit 11 of 18, New Orleans none for 7. No gain on that one. Harv Hubbard carried, and Joe Fettersfield brought him down. 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. The Lions are leading by a score of 23-14. Each of these teams lost the opening game of the season last week, so each is looking for its first win of the year here this afternoon. Dexter Bussey at the 29-yard line. Alex Price stopped him.
Fettersfield almost jumped off sides.
I'll say. Third and 14 it is. Comes Horace King into the ball game. Rick Kane into the ball game at running backs. Herbert's coming off. Bussey's coming off. Charlie Sanders is coming off. 3rd and 14 for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, I'd watch Jarvis on this turn-in on the weak side. They usually go to this turn-in on passing situation.
Landry. And he is filled by Bob Pollard. And Jerry Markbright went down into the bargain, but he's all right, and so is Landry.
He had a screen called. Landry had a screen pass called and decided to eat the football. Let's watch him. There he goes back and sets up. See him start to drift, and he says, "Where's my screen?" Bob Pollard was right there.
Rich Moty has dropped back now to receive the punt. That's the 5th sack, minus 60 yards. Wilbur Summers is in deep punt formation, punting again from his end zone. Low snap, and now it is across the end line, and that's a safety. That is a 2-pointer, and there'll be a free kick following at the 20-yard line.
And snap from center there. I think it was Markovich usually centers the ball for the punts, and he centered it way to the right on the ground, so it's going to cost him 2.
So 2 more points go up on the board, and it is now 25-14.
I drive Ford pickup because my daddy told me they're built tough. Right, Daddy? Right, and I bought a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
Yep, and I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
That's right, yeah. My daddy came to Texas in a covered wagon. I had to learn about Fords on my own. I'm a smart old bird, ain't I?
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job. Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
Is it a fling or the real thing? Julie falls for an older man on the season premiere of One Day at a Time, Tuesday following MASH.
Detroit 23, New Orleans 16. We have 11 minutes, 48 seconds remaining to be played, and that's Tommy Hudspeth.
And boy, Lindsay, he's got to be a little bit peeved at these special teams. They've given the Saints, 9 points. They've given that block kick for a touchdown. Then, of course, here comes the safety. They've also missed an extra point, and they've got it back to a 7-point difference.
Free kick, you can put it in play from a punt or placement. It's going to be punted. So it's booted. And Maudie and Stewart are deep.
Greg Boykin.
Boykin is returning it to the 50, to the 45, and Greg Boykin gets it all the way to the 42-yard line. So now the Saints on the free kick get good field position in New Orleans territory, 1st and 10 at the Detroit, 42-yard line.
This is Greg Boykin, the rookie out of Northwestern. He was a fine running back, almost got 1,000 yards in his freshman year at Northwestern. So he's got the Saints in pretty good territory. Lindsay, in the New Orleans game last year, they had a punter named Herman Weaver here at Detroit, fumbled a snap, tried to run out, and tackled and fumbled. New Orleans recovered, and they scored a 17-16 victory.
Archie Manning. Well, he had some trouble with the Lions and some trouble with an official. Doug English had him by the leg, which was his biggest trouble. And he picked up 1.5 foot. No pun intended. Call it 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line. Summers, the punter. Lions 23 and the Saints 16. Now it is a screen out left and taken out there by Tony Galbraith. But it's no gain. Maybe a loss of a yard on that one. Paul Newmouth and Tony Dakin in on the stop. Make it 3rd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Look at that. 3rd down efficiency. Quite a difference. Of course, the Saints haven't had the ball too much here in the second half so far.
Manning is 5 for 13 in the air, 39 yards. Archie Manning. He gunned it complete to Thaxton. Jim Thaxton.
It's going to be a 1st down.
Well, where it's going to be marked now, it is a 1st down.
Good catch by Thaxton and a good tackle by Levi Johnson. Really puts his shoulder in here. Manning stands right in the pocket. Good pitch. Right there. He made a good catch with the hands. Levi Johnson on the stop knocked him back, but it's going to be a 1st down, I think.
They're going to measure to determine whether or not it is. Taking the sticks all the way across. And it is a 1st and 10. Detroit Lions 23 and the New Orleans Saints 16 with 10 minutes, 1 second left to play in the game. Saints are trailing by 7. 1st and 10 at the Lions 32-yard line. Motion across by Don Herman. Manning completed on the far side. Joel Parker. Joel Parker.
Quick turnout left. Good rhythm here. Plants off the right foot, and the ball's right there. Good pass by Manning. It's a good move by Parker here to come back and fight for a couple extra yards.
Got it to the 24-yard line. It's going to be second down, 3 yards to go.
And we're 24 yards away from a tie football game
We
here.
are all of that. Saints are very much in this one right now on this drive. Up, Muncie. Stacked up. It's going to be marked way back at the 25 as Charlie West is the first man to hit him. It'll be third down and 4 yards to go at the 25. Well, this is a big play in the ball game coming up for the New Orleans Saints. We have 8 minutes, 51 seconds left to play. Lions 23, Saints 16.
Well, he tried to dance his way into the hole that time.
And it sort of closed before his arrival.
There wasn't too much running room there.
New Orleans 1 for 9 in third down efficiency, and this is a third down circumstance. Parker in motion. And it's completed. Taken by Thaxton, and Thaxton has got a 1st and 10, and it's going to be marked over there just outside the 15-yard line.
Got a nice soft pass to catch. Manning can drill it. He's got just that touch on the football. Real nice for the tight end that time. Jim Thaxton, a little square out to the sidelines. He was wide open.
Outside the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints, who trail by 7. Parker goes to the left side. Don Herman comes to the right side for Archie Manning. They split the running backs. Galbraith and Muncie. Now it's Archie Manning rolling and looking and throwing and deflected and incomplete.
Ooh, I tell you, if it hadn't been deflected, it might have been 7 because Thaxton was open in the end zone. He's already caught 3 today. We've got a final for you. Baltimore with the New York Jets by 8.
2nd and 10, the situation here for New Orleans outside the 15-yard line of the Lions.
The Colts are now 2-0. I think they're going to be around at the end of the playoffs. When the playoffs starts, I think the Colts are going to be hurt.
Joel Parker goes to the left side. Don Herman comes to the right side. Now it's Archie Manning. Ball skitters away. There's a penalty marker thrown. There's a marker upfield.
I was going to say, the only real bad thing that could happen to the Saints here is they get sacked. And boy, he got sacked all right. He tried to get rid of the football there. He shouldn't have tried to get rid of the football there. Could have been ruled a fumble. There's a flag down. Let's check out the penalty. Well, the Bears look like they're in for their first loss of the season. St. Louis 16, Chicago 3. Another back and field goal. He's kicked 3.
Let's get the penalty now against the Lions.
Holding, number 28, defense, automatic first down.
James Hunter on the left corner holding. That's a first down outside the 10-yard line.
Oh, what a big first down. What a turnaround.
Call it 1st and 10 at the 11 as we start the drive now. It would be possible to pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown, although it's unlikely. Lions 23, Saints 16. Saints 1st and 10. 8 minutes, 7 seconds left to play in the game. This is Muncie. Well, he got inside the 10, and that was all. At the 9-yard line, Williams and Newmoff brought him down.
Did a little fancy stepping to pick up that 2.
2nd and 8 on the 9 as Muncie's shoulder pad is showing through on either side. Muncie's carried 11 times for 52 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line. Joel Parker goes to the left side. Rich Morty to the right side. That's incomplete. Try to get it to Galbraith. Try to get it to Tony Galbraith coming out of the backfield. 3rd and 8 at the 9-yard line.
You should have had it. Yeah, it was a little bit low, but it was catchable. Goldberg might have gotten in for the score, or he would have at least been inside that 5-yard stripe.
7 minutes, 16 seconds left to play. Morty goes out the field. Don Herman comes back.
Play action here. He's rolling around to the right. Watch Manning. Just a little bit below his waist. He should have had it. Newmoff was right there.
Archie Manning lost it up into the air, and it's incomplete. Trying to let Parker make a leaping grab, but it is 4th and 8 now at the 9 with 7 minutes, 11 seconds to play. Here comes the field goal unit on for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, the blitz, Paul Newmoff, came from his left side and caused Manning to throw it up for grabs.
Rich Zarrow is in to attempt the field goal. Saints are trailing by 7.
Oh, here's the fourth quarter score with 6 minutes to go. At Cincinnati, 42, Seattle, 20. Archie Griffin will score an 18-yard pass.
Tom Blanchard is in to hold. And this will be a 26-yard attempt. Zarrow with a 26-yard attempt for New Orleans. It's good. It is good. 3 more points on the board for the New Orleans Saints. So it is now the Detroit Lions 23 and the New Orleans Saints 19. 7 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in this game.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7 around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
The Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Here's the kickoff. Zarrow puts it up. Rich is deep, but this one is bounding, and Rich takes it at the 15 to the 20 and gets it back to the 23-yard line. Total yards, Detroit now has 343. New Orleans has 88. Wow. 4 points difference in the score.
I tell you that safety quarterback comparison, Manning, 8 out of 1967. Greg Landry, and those are the number 1 and number 2 rated NFC passers going into the second game of the season.
Well, the Detroit Lions had the ball most of the third quarter. Can they keep it a while now, or can New Orleans hold with the defense and get the ball back? That's their plan. 1st and 10 for Detroit at the 23. Here's a quick pitch to Dexter Bussey. And he moved it out there to the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 5 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 5. Bob Pollard, Joe Fettersfield made the stop for New Orleans. Lions 23, Saints 19.
Bussey heading for a 100-yard day here. He's over 90 yards rushing. He is over 100 yards. 21 carries, 113 yards now for Dexter Bussey.
6.5 minutes left to play. Jarvis comes far to the left side. Horace King, Dexter Bussey are the running backs for Greg Landry and the Detroit Lions.
There's those 2 tight ends at the top of your screen.
Now it's popped out to Jarvis. And he gets it up there for the first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Greg Westbrooks finally stopped him.
A quick screen, and he split in, and he waited for his offensive lineman to come out and help him on a blocking a little bit. Jarvis went back to the inside and got the first down.
6 minutes left to play in the game.
Giants-Dallas, third quarter. Dallas by 17. 68-yard punt return, a run back by Bob Hammond for the New York Giants.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line. That's King ahead of Bussey in the eye. That's Bussey. At the 40, 45, 50, 45, back to the inside 40. And finally stopped at the 35-yard line.
Again, 31-yard pickup this time for Dexter Bussey. Boy, the blocking of the offensive line. The score does not show the control of the line of scrimmage. Just a little cross-blocking right there. And what a hole. And Bussey just burst through off the left side. Just great running and great blocking by the offensive line for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you, that's been the difference. And, of course, there's only a 4-point difference, but when you gain as many yards as Detroit has, they're usually way in front.
Greg Cassidy injured on the last play. So we have an injury timeout.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta, 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. Road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The traction of front-wheel drive and excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
Greg Cassidy left under his own power. Landry is 13 for 27, 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dexter Bussey has picked up 144 yards and 22 carries. First and 10 Lions at the Saints 35. That's Kane, the tailback in the eye. So they give it to Horace King. He struggles up to the 31-yard line for 4, where it'll be 2nd and 6. Joe Federspiel made the stop.
Horace King, your front man in the eye here. He gets it off the right side, just looking for a little daylight. Puts his head down. He comes back to his left. Joe Federspiel stopped him, but not before he picked up 4.
2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Lions. At the Saints 31. Kane and King. Kane this time. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Jim Merlo made the stop.
Kane was supposed to cut inside, Lindsey. He made a bad cut. He tried to get it to the outside. The hole and the play is designed to turn up inside the linebacker, which has worked all day long.
He lost 2 yards on the play, making it 3rd and 8, and we have exactly 4 minutes left to play in the game. Lions 23 and the Saints 19. Jarvis goes to the right side. Landry has quarterback the Lions throughout. Kane's a tailback. Kane's got it. Penalty marker is thrown. He goes to the 26-yard line.
Dexter Bussey, as the stats we showed you, over 140 yards rushing. This is his best rushing day in pro football.
Penalty against the Detroit Lions. Jerry Markbright, the referee, marks it out. A 10-yard penalty.
Holding, number 8, offense, 3rd down.
Here's Joe Federspiel, the middle linebacker here. Going to the flow. That's the left tackle now. Left guard Russ Bollinger's moved out to tackle.
That was the 10th Detroit penalty. They've been penalized 84 yards. 3rd and 18 at the Saints 43. 3 minutes, 36 seconds left. Landry Puts it way up there for Sanders, and it was Luther Blue, beg your pardon. Luther Blue, incomplete. 4th and 18. So it's 4th down coming up with 3:29 on the clock, and the Lion punting unit is in. Wilbur Summers to do the punting as Landry comes off. Rich Marty is deep for New Orleans. 3:29 on the clock. Lions have a 4-point lead. Well, it hit right on the sideline marker at the 17-yard line. No return, 1st and 10. So that is where the New Orleans Saints will start from. Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m., the CBS Sports Spectacular.
And, of course, the Cup, $250,000 race to Belmont, some of the best 3-year-olds up in the country.
And the Super Bowl of motocross at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum held last July. Bob Hanna, Jim Weinert, Jim Pomeroy, all on the CBS Sports Spec next Saturday. All right, Archie Manning brings them up. 1st and 10 at their own 17. They trail by 4. 3 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. Archie Manning retreats. That's batted, incomplete. Trying to get it out in the left, flat on a screen out there to Galbraith, but it was batted quickly by Ernest Price, number 72.
Let's watch number 72 now, coming in from the left. It'll be number 72, and it's a quick screen out here to the flat. And boy, big number 72 gets his arms up and deflects it. Incomplete. Ernest Price, a 5-year veteran from Texas A&I. Good range, about 6'5".
2nd down and 10 yards to go for the New Orleans Saints. Hit Galbraith and Munson. Archie Manning guns this one to Galbraith at the 25. Gets it to the 29. That'll be a 1st down.
Good clutch play here. Archie Manning hooking up with Galbraith. There he is on the delay. Lindsey, right over the left side. Manning's got his eye on him. Perfect pass. Galbraith gets it. Now, he doesn't have the 1st down here. He's still